Chris has driven 2 hours north of Sydney in response to an emergency call from his good mate Jason at the Hunter Valley Zoo.
Jason, how you going?
Mate, thanks heaps for coming,
That's
mate.
all right,
Thanks
no
heaps for
problem
coming.
at all.
Got a problem
So
with Mal,
Mal,
our spider monkey, mate. We come in this morning to all his mouth swollen and a bit of blood coming out.
This is him down here.
You can see his jaw all swollen.
Yeah.
We're really concerned about Mal because he's producing a little bit of blood out of that swelling in his jaw. So it really is an emergency to get him looked at today.
As you know yourself, if you have a sore mouth, it really does affect everything in your life. It affects your mood, it affects how well you can eat, and really just simple tasks become incredibly difficult. It is a worry if he's not eating well, but also to have a look at that's going to be a challenge.
Mal would definitely bite you, and he will scratch and he will grab a hold of you. So they're quite a powerful primate.
We're going to need to sedate him, and that's not going to be easy.
He's not going to open up and say, I don't think,
no.
is he? So,
no, he's not.
It's all in your capable hands.
Hey, puppies. Come on, in you go.
At the Bondi Referral Hospital SASH, Angelle has arrived with her 2 dogs, Oliver and Jasmine.
What a good girl.
But it's 6-month-old Oliver that Angelle is worried about.
Oliver's got a lame left front leg, which has persisted and is getting worse.
Hi, Angelle.
Hi, Andrew.
What's with Ollie?
Ollie's got a limp on his left side.
How long has he been like that?
About 3 weeks.
So he wasn't lame before that?
No.
Get you to trot him down there for me. Hey, Jazz.
Specialist surgeon Andrew Marchevsky has been treating Angelle's pets for years.
Just a bit quicker? Okay. Good boy.
Okay.
Right. So not had any other lamenesses?
No.
Nothing. Good boy. You all right? Hey, no. No. As soon as you get to that elbow and put a little bit of pressure on the inside part of it, he's not happy. He's pulling away and having a bit of a gnaw at my hand. So he certainly saw on that point. Good boy. Yeah, I know. Don't chew. Did your mother teach you to do that? Yeah.
You're not allowed to bite the vet,
No.
especially Andrew.
That's right. He's not sure up in his shoulder or down in his wrist, but that elbow seems to be the problem. I guess dog of his breed and age, I think we have to think of something like elbow dysplasia, which I guess you're a little familiar with.
Too familiar with. I don't want a dog with elbow dysplasia.
For Angelle, this diagnosis brings back a lot of painful memories.
I would really hope that it's not elbow dysplasia. I suppose that's the worst scenario. My last one had lots of dysplasia and he had a lot of health issues.
Elbow dysplasia is a disease where the elbow joint doesn't quite fit together properly and puts pressure in the wrong spot, and as a result of that we tend to get fragments of bone coming off, or even little fractures if you like. That's the last thing we want to let Ollie get to. I think really the next step is we need to do a CT scan.
Okay.
It's quite sensitive at detecting whether he's got a little bone chip or there's a big flapper bone. I guess the other thing is, unfortunately, if he does have this problem, he's never going to be normal.
I just hope that whatever it is, they can fix it very quickly and he can get on with his puppy life. It's so awful for him to be so young and have to go through this. So, yeah, it's very upsetting.
Put the team together.
Yeah, put a big team together, mate. Everyone's really worried about him. You see they're quite agile.
Yeah, they are.
And they're quite worked up.
Back at the Hunter Valley Zoo, it's all hands on deck to catch Mel. The 30-year-old spider monkey has a massive lump inside his mouth. Chris needs to examine the swelling, but catching Mel is proving difficult.
A spider monkey would have to be one of the most agile creatures on the planet, so the chances of Mal sitting still long enough so I can actually look inside his mouth are next to zero.
Mel and his best mate Mike are becoming stressed by the extra attention.
We'll pull out and just let him settle, and then we'll hit him with a dart and drop him in the cage.
It's now time for Plan B.
Yeah, so we've got all the other guys as backup because it's such a tall cage.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a few guys on blankets, so when he does go out, we can be there to catch him.
Hello, yeah. No, we're coming not for you, but for you. For you. Wow. Okay. Good boy.
At Sash, 6-month-old Oliver's CT scan is underway.
Oh, I'll get his shoulders in as well, to be sure.
Specialist surgeon Andrew Marchevsky is worried the limping Labrador is suffering from elbow dysplasia.
If he's got elbow dysplasia and he's got a big chunk of bone sitting there or a crack and we don't do anything about it, he'll go on and get really nasty arthritis, and that can be crippling.
Oliver's owner, Angel, and her Doberman, Jasmine, are waiting anxiously in reception for news.
No, he's not there.
For Angel, elbow dysplasia would be the worst possible outcome. Her last Labrador, Harley, suffered from this debilitating disease.
It's sad for any dog that has it because they can't, run like a normal dog. There are going to be lots of restrictions on him as he gets older. So, yeah, it's tough.
Feel for Angel, she just doesn't need anything. Doesn't need anything serious wrong with this fella. You take him through, I'll have a look at these and see if we're going to do anything. Okay.
Hello, boys.
At the Hunter Valley Zoo, a tense standoff is underway between man and spider monkey.
They're going to sit still for you.
They're not so game now, are they?
No, they're not.
The 30-year-old monkey has a large swelling inside his mouth that has started to bleed. Chris needs to sedate Mel to get a closer look at the lump.
The hard thing here is that he knows that something's up and he's not going to sit still for it. Come on, Mel. Come on, buddy.
I think he's trying to use his mate as a shield.
He is. Yeah, we got him. Yeah. He's thrown the dart out, but...
You see it's empty now, so that's all gone in there. So it shouldn't be too long now. I've got the blankets ready there.
Yeah, he's starting to show a bit of signs now, isn't he?
Mel is in a precarious situation. He's about to lose consciousness. If the team can't catch him, a drop from this height could be fatal.
It's going to be all right, buddy. It's going to be all right.
Back in Sydney, Sash emergency vet Lisa Chimes is about to make a very important house call.
Yes, good boy, sit.
But first, Lisa and her husband Brad have some exciting news to share with their 2 dogs, Lucas and Nelson.
All right, so we're having a baby. You're going to be getting a brother or sister.
Unusual reaction.
You're going to be helping. You are. You are.
I'm just excited for a human baby to be coming home instead of you bringing ducks home.
Look at our God.
This may be Lisa and Brad's first pregnancy, but 12 months ago they had a trial run parenting a different type of baby.
Oh, my goodness, Brad. Brad, what are you doing? You're meant to be watching them.
I thought it would be good practice for him for the human child that is now imminent.
Yeah.
Now that the whole family are aware of the impending arrival, Lisa is on her way to Terry Hills, 25 kilometres north of Sydney. She's answering a call for help from a family who are also preparing for some new arrivals.
They're going to get not only 1, but 2 Great Danes. Now, these dogs are giant. I don't think this family knows quite what they're getting themselves into. They've never even owned a dog.
Hi, come on in.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. I guess we're both getting new family members.
Absolutely. Getting a bit nervous though.
I think I'm more nervous about the humankind than the animal.
You've got a few months to go.
Yeah, you don't have
no,
much.
I don't have very long. But come on in, we've got lots of questions.
Okay, yeah.
Jenny, Andre and son Leo have made one of the biggest decisions of their life.
You got some photos there?
Yeah, so this is from the breeder's website.
They're adding 2 Great Dane puppies to their family, and they've asked Lisa to provide some expert guidance before they commit to the new additions.
Getting to giant dogs is a giant lifestyle change, and I've come here to teach them about the breed and work out if it's right for them. Great Danes are about this high.
Yeah.
So they're going to be like this. Huh?
2 of them.
2 of them? How does that feel?
Good.
I am a little bit concerned about 2 first-time dog owners choosing a giant breed and getting 2 puppies. They really don't know anything about looking after a dog. They have no idea.
This is Sheba. This is one of our cats.
She is going to have an interesting time with the dogs, I think.
Absolutely. She owns this place. Pets enrich your life in such a way nothing else can. It's one thing having a family, but pets bring a completely different dimension to it. Introducing the cats to the dogs will be a major thing because I don't want the dogs to see the cats as toys, and I don't want the cats to scratch the puppies either. I want a happy household if I can help it.
I would definitely be keeping them quite separate in the beginning. For quite a few months. Just like you can't force people to like each other. If they like each other, they like each other, and if they don't, they don't.
Oh, we have a lot to learn.
It's going to be all right, buddy.
At the Hunter Valley Zoo, Chris and the team are on high alert. Mel has been sedated, and a drop from this height could be fatal.
It's going to be all right. Good catch, guys.
For Managing Director Jason, it's a stressful time.
Because of his age, the whole process is complicated. Sedating him is complicated, moving him is complicated, just simply because of his age. So we are on tenterhooks today.
Yeah, he's still pretty awake there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, OK. I did want to have a little bit of a look in his mouth, but I don't think he's going to be deep enough to do that.
Mel will be moved to the zoo's vet clinic for further testing.
Just concerned about the whole move, but when it gets to the swelling in his mouth, that we really need to get him seen to and make sure that he can have a quality of life.
All right, so they're going to have access to this area as well?
Yes, but only when we're here. But one of the concerns is obviously snakes.
Lisa is inspecting Jenny and Andre's property to make sure they're ready for the challenges of owning 2 Great Dane pups.
We've got ticks out there as well, and I think that's probably as big a risk for your dogs as the snakes are. This is a really big property. It backs onto a national park. There's lots of areas that are unsafe for the puppies. Make sure that they don't have access to the pool without you around, because I see dogs drowning all the time. Any dog can swim, it's just how long they can swim for.
Jenny and Andre have an appointment with a local Great Dane breeder later today. They've asked Lisa to come and help choose the pups, as they know a wrong decision could end in disaster.
Well, I've survived a newborn, so hopefully now it's puppies.
Yeah, and I've survived puppies, so hopefully I can do a newborn as well. Let's see. I never came here to try and change Jenny and Andre's mind. I just wanted to make sure that they are educated, that they know all the facts, that they know what they're getting themselves into. Hope I haven't scared you guys too much.
No, not at all, hopefully. The reality is there's nothing like hands-on. And we haven't had the hands-on yet, and we're about to find out. Thank you very much.
Bye.
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 At SASH, Andrew Marchevsky is examining Oliver's CT scans. He's hoping they'll provide the answers to what's causing the 6-month-old to limp.
I've had a look at both of his elbows. I can't see any evidence of elbow dysplasia, and that's great. I think even better than that, I can actually find on this a cause of his lameness. It's not exactly what we thought we were going to be looking at, so I'll get Angel in and have a bit of a chat and I'll show what we found.
We're going to find your brother. Let's go. Come on. Hopefully it'll be good and we won't have any bad news to deal with, so we'll see.
Come on in, we'll have a chat. Come on in, mate. He doesn't have elbow dysplasia.
Really?
Yeah, no, they're fine.
That's the most fantastic
No,
news
he's
ever.
the cleanest set of elbows in the country. But He's got another disease. That sounds like a bad thing, but it's actually a good thing because it explains his lameness. He's got panosteitis.
Okay.
And all that is, it's sort of like growing pains for puppies. It'll go away once he hits maturity. It's good news, really, because he doesn't have arthritis. He's not going to get arthritis.
Excellent. Okay.
Really good. It's really good.
Hello. What a good boy. Did you miss your mum? Of course you did.
I'm really glad that he's got to come home, so really glad. So I like my puppies being at home with me, not here, as much as I love Sash.
Nice quick visit.
Yes.
It's always good.
Yes, always good.
It's always better than a long visit.
Yeah.
I'll get the dog for you. It's the best news I could have come up with for Angel. Yeah, she will do anything for her dogs, I know that.
Let's go.
So to be able to say, it's not elbow dysplasia, it's this, it'll go away, it doesn't get any better, really.
Ollie, let's go.
You're sleepy, aren't you, Mel?
At the Hunter Valley Zoo, Chris is about to examine Mel's severely swollen mouth.
It's all right. No.
It's obviously sore. I mean, you can see even under the sedation there, he's wincing.
He's got a big swelling, a big angry, red, inflamed area. It doesn't look good. The degree to which it's swollen worries me. The only way of knowing for sure what Mel has inside of his mouth is to do two things, an X-ray and a biopsy.
X-ray.
So let's go and get a sample, so we just go straight through. The really interesting thing about Mel's history is that a few weeks ago he lost a tooth. Now my hope is that that tooth was lost because it was infected and that infection has now spread. That's the best case scenario because that just means a bit of an infection around the gum line which can be treated with antibiotics. If it's something else, if that's not the cause, then things aren't so good.
Hi.
In Schofields, 45 kilometres west of Sydney, first-time dog owners Jenny, Andre and their son Leo have a difficult decision to make.
How are you going to choose?
You're a good girl.
Can we have them all?
No.
While these puppies may be cute now,
Ow! Ow!
Lisa wants to make sure the family are aware of the huge commitment these dogs require.
I really don't think Andre and Jenny know exactly what they're getting themselves into. There is a lot of chaos around here and they're going to have 2 Great Dane puppies at home. It's going to be madness. Yes. And then they grow into you, huh?
Come, Chili.
Within 2 years, the pups will be fully grown.
For a big dog, you have that close eye contact, which really makes them really human. This is Chili, yeah?
That is definitely taller than me. Huh? Great Danes are over 80 kilos here. They are massive and it's going to be interesting with the 6-year-old kid running around.
Hey.
So what are you guys thinking?
Definitely 2.
Leo's found one.
Yeah, I think Leo's found the playmate.
People often ask me, how do I choose the right puppy? But what you need to do is work out what kind of puppy you want first. You want a male, a female, what size dog you want, temperament, and then go meet the puppies and see if you can find one that fits that.
It doesn't take long for the first decision to be made.
Yeah, that one. That's a girl.
This is a girl. I think we found our girl.
Jenny and Andre ask for Lisa's help to choose the second pup.
It's hard to pick. They're all beautiful.
There's no right or wrong answer. It's just whatever's right for you guys.
I think this one and I think this boy.
He seems to be lower energy compared to some of the other puppies here.
I think we found our
Yeah, I think we found our 2.
Now the difficult job starts because they picked their 2 puppies and we'll just see what chaos unfolds.
Time to go. Come on. All in, all paws. There's no going back now. We've chosen and we will deal with it as it comes, one step at a time.
I think they're going to have their hands full. I don't think they quite realise.
What are your thoughts, mate?
Yeah, well, I just want to get a little biopsy from inside his mouth.
Yep.
He's probably going to be a little bit too awake to do that, so we might just give him some gas
At the Hunter Valley Zoo, Mel the spider monkey has a huge lump growing inside his mouth. Chris and zoo owner Jason are concerned the lump may be cancerous.
Doesn't look good now for him, poor bugger.
The biopsy will determine if the lump is an easily treatable infection or a life-threatening tumour.
Okay, we're almost ready here.
As much as I don't want to think this, and as much as I don't want to have to explain this to Jason, the one thing that would explain everything we're seeing with Mal's mouth is a tumour. Mal's old, he's at 30 years of age, which is very old for a spider monkey, and he's got a swelling that's bleeding, so it would make sense, but I really hope that is not the answer.
I'd just be preparing yourself for what might be tough news.
Okay. All right, the girls are going to like that news at work.
Yeah.
It's all right, it's all right, old man. It's okay. It's great.
You got it.
The lump will be sent away for testing. Chris now reviews the x-rays for vital clues.
See, the worry I've got is that you look at his bone across his skull here.
Yes.
See how it's nice and clean lines. It looks like it's got some real density to it and real structure.
Yep.
Through here. You look down here and it's hard to actually see the outline of that bone.
That means infection or growth?
It can mean both.
Okay.
What he's got there is a pretty significant problem. It's a big swelling.
Yep.
It's sore and it is bothering him. So
When it comes down to it, we just want to have quality of life, so on.
yeah.
Given the amount of love that Jason and the rest of the team have for Mal, it's going to be a tough wait, waiting for the answer of this biopsy. But in the meantime, what we can do is give Mal some antibiotics, some pain relief, make him feel more comfortable, and hopefully fight the infection that we have, our fingers crossed, is causing this.
Come on, puppies. Welcome home.
There you go.
Good girl. There we go. Yay.
The two Great Dane puppies are now home, and Lisa is helping these dog-owning novices adjust to the new arrivals.
Hi, buddy. So have you got names?
Yeah, what have we named this one, Leah?
Jazz.
Yeah.
Jazz,
You wanna
that's
go
a
with Jazz?
beautiful name.
What do we name the boy?
The boy Pulse. And Max.
Lovely.
It's really great that Leo's in there. We don't want them becoming territorial of anything. We want them to know that Leo's part of the family. He can go where he wants, can sit on their bed without them becoming aggressive.
There's the first accident in the house.
Well, he's spreading wee everywhere right now.
It doesn't take long for Max and Jazz to settle in and mark their territory.
Oh my gosh. How much is possibly in that puppy?
And to let the cats know who is boss.
Oh, watch the dog.
I don't think they're going to be going anywhere near that area for now.
I don't think so either.
So even if they're playing so rough, do we break it up?
What they're doing is completely normal. If they've had enough, they'll let each other know. It's all part of the fun.
Okay.
This whole story is unknown. We don't know which way it's going to unfold. Tonight, when the puppies go to bed, they could scream their heads off the whole night or they could sleep soundly. Time will tell.
Let's get in and have a look at you, hey? Oh, you got a bit of attitude. I've just picked up a peregrine falcon. I've been told that he could have a potential head injury, so we'll find out.
At the Australian Reptile Park, Operations Manager Tim Faulkner is concerned about a peregrine falcon that was found lying on the ground at a local park.
This is the fastest animal on Earth, over 300 k's an hour. What that means is that they're a heavy-bodied bird. If he fledged and he wasn't quite ready to fly, he's going to hit the ground really hard, and that's what might have happened.
Before beginning an examination, Tim decides his new patient needs a name.
What about Malcolm? Malcolm the Falcon. You like that? Malcolm the Falcon? Let's have a look at you, mate. His wings look good. No obvious breaks. He's only a young bird. You see up here on the top? These white feathers? That's the down, the chick down. So he's at a point where he's just left the nest, he's just fledged.
Tim is convinced Malcolm hasn't suffered any critical injuries to his body. His attention now turns to the falcon's head.
There's something that stands out straight away to me, and that is, I wave my hand here, and the head turns, he can see the hand. I put my hand here, on the left side, he's not reacting at all. That's a big worry. He can't live in the wild with one eye. He needs two. Their vision allows them to see many hundreds of metres to isolate a particular prey item. And without both of them, there's no future for him in the wild. Hopefully, yeah, maybe a sore eye is all that he's got. If it's worse than that, we could have big problems. I think we better get you to the vet, mate, and have a good look at you, hey? Hey.
Timmy, how are you?
Good, thanks, mate. How are you?
I'm all right. What have you got?
Malcolm the falcon.
Tim has arrived at the Green Cross Vets in Wyoming, 5 minutes from the Australian Reptile Park.
He was found in the wild. He looks like he's just left the nest. He was captured, which was a concern to start with, that someone was able to get a hold of him.
Sure.
And he got brought into the park. Come on, Mal.
Tim is hoping Dr. Peter Nosworthy can confirm the extent of the eye damage Malcolm the falcon sustained after falling from his nest.
The worry is if he's got a bad eye, that he's got a bad head.
Yeah, well, if he's got a bad eye, he may well have been flown into something, and that would make sense if they found him on the ground.
We're going to have to sedate him so I can have a better look at the eye, and then we'll take an X-ray.
Good boy.
I'm looking to see whether there's any damage at the back of his eye. He may well have some retinal changes in here, Tim, which is a bit of a fuss for us.
I'd say that he's got a little bit of billowing in the back of the eye, so he's got a detached retina, so we'll see what the X-ray tells us.
And detached retina means blind?
Means blind.
I'm really worried about him now because we've confirmed that he's got eye damage, but hopefully there's nothing worse.
I'll show you these X-rays, Tim. So we've had a whack top of the skull. It's cracked that bone. All right.
And what, that pushes the retina forward?
Yes, it's pushed the eye forward as a trauma sort of thing, as you can imagine, from a whack behind the head, and has detached the retina.
The retina can never be repaired, so Malcolm must now live in captivity.
It's not worrying him, he's not in pains.
Yep. Oh, lucky and unlucky, hey, Malcolm the falcon. I'm pretty disappointed, but on the upside, we can give him a good life. And, you know, if he was still in the wild, he would be dead. He would stand no chance. There's no place for a one-eyed peregrine falcon.
Someone's very interested in who's in the box. Gonna come over and see what's doing. So where you been, mate?
It's been a huge day for Mel at the Hunter Valley Zoo. Following a series of tests on the lump inside his mouth, the much-loved spider monkey is now being reunited with his best mate, Mike.
There you come. Yeah, it's home, isn't it? Look who's here. Yeah, nothing's changed. Still the same. And what have they done to you? Trying to break you out. I know, you'll get your time soon enough. They're a real team, aren't they? They're a real team, yeah. They really miss each other.
Mel's test results will be back by the end of the week. Jason is hopeful the news will be good.
We're really worried about Mal, and everyone's on tenterhooks. We really want to get a good result because he is a favourite of the park, and if we can get Mal through this, we'll be stoked. Fingers crossed, mate. Yeah. Well, leave me recover. Yeah.
While Mel spends some time recuperating, Jason has one last job for the visiting vet.
Our male koala has decided to leave all his girlfriends. So we've got a few challenges up for today. It doesn't rain, it pours. How many girlfriends has he got? He's got 4. Well, he normally lives by himself. We stuck him with 4 girls overnight, and this is the end result.
He needs a break. He obviously needs a break, doesn't he?
Yeah, they've driven him out.
Good boy. You need a good feed. You're a bit skinny.
After being diagnosed with a fractured skull and a detached retina, Malcolm has been returned to the Australian Reptile Park.
Malcolm needs nursing. He's had a head injury and he's lost sight in one eye, so he's pretty fragile at the moment. He needs some TLC. He's a bit clumsy, but he's trying. Yeah, if I get it in, is that better? Good boy, mate. I'm going to keep Malcolm in a small cage for the time being. He's had a head injury, so the last thing I want is to put him into a big aviary where he's a bit scared and he bashes himself around and hurts himself more. So he'll stay in that little cage until he's eating well and he's not so scared of our presence, and then we'll move him into a bigger cage where he can stretch his wings and start and develop.
You're not going to come down?
The keepers at the Hunter Valley Zoo were hoping romance would blossom when they introduced Bazza to the ladies. Instead, it ended in mutiny, with the young male escaping their little love shack.
A koala, an escapee, is 15 metres up in a tree. It turns out he's running away from his 4 girlfriends. It's quite an escape.
What's his name?
Bazza.
You know, Bazza, in the human world, guys, we just go to the pub in your situation.
Every time we go up the ladder, he feels a vibration and just goes up higher. Just out of reach. You willing to have a crack?
Have a go, yeah.
All right. We have to get him down before he decides to disappear into another tree overnight.
Have you seen how much of this ladder's moving? Are you doing that?
That's me as well.
Are you doing that?
I'm nervous for you. I think he's on to you.
Hey, mate. Every man needs his space. This is taking it to the extreme, Baz. The problem is that I can't really reach him from here.
The cockies are having a laugh anyway.
I know. Oh, everyone's having a laugh. I'll get to you later, cockies.
He's not generally naughty, he's normally just a sook. But I think the girls are distributing the distraction overnight and he's decided to jump out and climb the tree. Oh, cherry picker it is.
It is.
Yeah.
It's round 1 to Bazza, but Chris is hoping with the help of the cherry picker, this round is his.
I jump in there with the alligators, but you're on your own with koalas.
He's meant to be quiet, but he's not.
He's our quietest one.
But he's the quietest one compared to the one that ate a small child the other day.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's carrying.
He's like a
You'll be fine.
He's a sook.
So am I, if I'm clawed by koalas. We'll see.
Most people see koalas as being this very cute, very calm, very cuddly little creature that sleeps all day up a tree. There is another side though. If they're threatened, from nowhere, this ninja comes out and they will scratch and they will bite you so quickly you can do nothing about it.
So just watch your eyes, everyone, with branches and stuff falling.
The keepers are prepared for a worst-case scenario as Chris closes in on Bazza.
The natural enemy of the koala, huh? Cherry picker. Sorry, mate, you gotta come down. You all right?
Let's go. Right with that.
Somebody. Come on, mate, go. Let's go. There we go. You're on. There we go. There we go, little man. You happy? You're going back to the girls. Don't you?
It wasn't that hard.
Yeah.
I'll up to you, Chris, to get down.
Okay. Hey, Baz. I'm sorry, mate. Man to man, I'm sorry we had to do this. You know?
Whoa.
After everything we'd been through, I talked Baz down, we bonded in the cherry picker. I thought everything was okay. Then Baz took a cheap shot. Just when you think you can trust your mates.
I'll hand him over to Laura, because now's probably the time to tell you he doesn't like boys.
Well, he's about to go and be introduced to some girls, I think, isn't he?
Yeah. No, I think we might put him into his bachelor party. I think the 4 girls might have been too much for him last night.
So this is the safe zone.
It is.
No girls can enter? Have we checked that?
No girls ever come in here. This is his place to himself.
I took one for the team. I know you meant to climb, but that was getting a bit ridiculous. Just keep it this high, huh? See you, buddy.
I think they're asleep. It went well. They cried for a little bit, but not much. They pretty much just fell asleep.
The next morning, Lisa has dropped in on Jenny and Andre to see how their new pups, Jazz and Max, survived the first night in their new home.
And what about overnight? Do they wee during the night?
No.
Wow,
No.
try overnight.
With the pups resting quietly, Jenny and Andre have one final question for Lisa.
So we bought this dog pens. So we're thinking about putting him here, but I'd like to get some advice.
Jenny and Andre have got a really big property here backing onto the national park, so we're going to try and puppy-proof the backyard as much as possible. Closing off an area like this is really good. It's obviously not going to last very long. Eventually, you're going to have to build up a proper fence, a fenced-in garden where you know that they're safe.
Yeah.
Jenny and Andre understand a lot of adjustments are needed for life with two Great Danes.
They grow to full size within 2 years. So we got to be ready for it, and we got to start doing plans for it before they need it.
First milestone in the pen.
Yep.
There we go. And let's try to get out. We already love the puppies. It's hard to even imagine that they wouldn't be here, and they've only been here for 24 hours.
Looking forward to them growing up, seeing how they go from that puppyhood to the teenage years, which I'm sure are going to be a lot of fun. But who knows who's going to end up top dog? Hopefully it's me.
All right, guys, I'm going to leave you to it.
All right.
I think you're all set. I had my reservations about them getting two Great Dane puppies for their first time round, but they're doing really well, and it's all going to work out just fine. I'll see you guys soon.
Thanks for the help.
Bye.
Bye.
Cheers. We're on our own now.
Yep. Can we panic now?
Righto, Malcolm. You've been in there long enough, mate. It's time to go into your new home. Got some food in there for you.
It's been 4 days since Malcolm suffered an horrific fall that resulted in a fractured skull and rendered him blind in one eye.
Welcome to your new home, buddy. Malcolm's been in a confined space, his little box, for a few days. And that was for his own benefit, so he couldn't hurt himself by knocking himself about. But he's eating well and he looks good, so it's time to go into a bigger home. You've got a room with a view, mate. This is the best aviary in the house. Malcolm's future is in captivity, but that's a positive. In the wild, it was a one-way street. He faced certain death. You do well in here, mate. You're halfway. The next stage could be to find him a girl. That will take a little bit of time. We need to know that he's good, and, you know, those female peregrines, they're a handful, so Malcolm has to be strong and healthy. You look good, mate. You look real good.
As for Mel, the spider monkey's results are back, and sadly, he's been diagnosed with bone cancer.
He's old, and it would have been a better outcome if it was just a bit of an infection or something like that.
But Jason is hoping Mel will still have a little more time with his best mate, Mike.
Shouldn't be able to spot.
Chris has been called to a local park to meet with Anna.
I got a funny feeling this is why I'm here, right?
Yes, this is James.
Her pet mini pig's behaviour is causing some big problems.
He's a bit of a demolition man, isn't he?
I think he can dig a hole faster than I could with a shovel. The council is not appreciating the holes that he's putting in the park, and they're asking me to keep him on the lead at all times, even in an off-leash park.
To be honest, I came down here thinking, oh, geez, the council's overreacting again. But you see the holes he digs. He is making a mess down here.
Thanks, James.
This foraging behaviour, this digging, is a normal thing for pigs to do, but here in the city, it doesn't work because the council are really on Anna's tail.
I think they're at the point of almost asking me to not take him to the park. I guess the only other solution is for me to move to a rural area, and I certainly don't want to do it, but the last thing I want to do is have to give him up. I love him. I couldn't imagine not having him around.
Brutus is as big as this boat. That's a little bit scary.
Tim and Obi are investigating some trouble in the Australian Reptile Park's Alligator Lagoon. Bad boy Brutus has started fighting the old male gators for territory and harassing the females.
Right, Most of the time they get along, and there's a real social hierarchy from big boys right down to tiny little hatchlings. Now, Brutus is at that point in his life where he's ready to become top dog. The risk is if we leave Brutus, that he's going to try and throw it over these old boys. That's going to end in serious injury, possibly death. Ah, that's our gator. Look, he's just sitting there, standing his ground, doesn't want to move. Everyone else is scattered, and the king's just holding his ground. Hey. We can't catch Brutus in the water, even though we're only a metre from him now. There's a few risks. One is that he pulls us straight in. Two is that if we happen to get a rope on and let's say Brutus was too strong and he pulled away, he could then be stuck underwater with a rope wrapped around his head, and we don't want that.
With Brutus now located, Tim will attempt to entice the deadly killer to the bank so he can be captured.
Righto, mate, we'll see you in a little while.
Billy.
Bello, a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, has suddenly collapsed and been rushed into the Bondi Referral Hospital SASH.
All of a sudden he just lied on the kitchen floor, couldn't focus, his head tilted to one side, and he just couldn't stand up. He was just like going in circles. It was very upsetting.
Glenda and her daughter-in-law Georgia are fearing the worst.
My initial thought was he had a stroke. It looked like a human that had had a stroke.
Bring him through.
Emergency vet Dr. Lisa Chimes needs to urgently assess the 6-year-old.
Hey, honey, your world's upside down. What's happened?
He just went down, his eyes started flickering, and he just couldn't stand. He couldn't, like he was all over the place.
So what we really need to do now is work out, is this a problem going on in his brain? Yep. Or is this a problem going on outside of his brain? Right. So somewhere like in the ears.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm just gonna pop him on the floor, see what he can do.
Come here, baby. Oh, come here, baby. Bello, come here.
There's something going on with Bello that is affecting the nerve that's controlling his balance.
He's not too steady at all.
There's a whole variety of things it could be, and we need to do some more tests to work out why. So I'm gonna have a look inside his ears, see if there's any problems there. That one looks pretty good. So his ears look actually pretty clean. There's no inflammation, there's nothing I can see down that ear canal that's causing any issues. That doesn't necessarily rule out ear problems, okay? Because I'm just looking at the outside ear canal. Exactly.
Bello will now undergo a CT scan to determine if the problem is within the inner ear or the brain.
Hey, what's going on?
Problems inside the brain could be something like a stroke, something like a tumour in his brain, some sort of inflammatory disease in his brain.
Just getting better. Very nerve-wracking, yeah.
All right.
Just hope it doesn't turn out to be the worst.
Honey, I know you're dizzy. You're dizzy. The worst case scenario would be that Bello's got a brain tumour, and I really, really hope that's not something I'm going to have to tell Glenda.
Okay.
Honey.
Bello's CT scan is underway at SASH.
Good boy, Bello.
The Cavalier King Charles Spaniel collapsed and is unable to stand.
The causes of balance problems can be related to something inside the brain or something outside the brain. And what we really need to do with Bello is work out what's causing these signs.
I've never seen him like that before.
Poor Belly.
It's a tense wait for owner Glenda and her daughter-in-law Georgia.
He is our baby. All our boys have grown up now and he's our little boy. Because he's never been away from us. Yeah, it's just that he's always been with us. Wherever we are, he is.
What have we got? Chickens. The lure?
Right. Yep.
Yeah, there's some extra
Good.
rope.
Beauty. Are we confident 2 of us are going to be enough?
No, but I've got a little plan.
At the Australian Reptile Park, bad boy Brutus has been terrorising the other alligators in the lagoon. This 400-kilo predator needs to be removed before his attacks turn lethal.
Everyone's tense. We've had injuries in females, young males, old males, and that's because of Brutus. He's got everyone on hot coals because he's testing all the old males.
Yep, we've got everything.
Yeah, this is everything. If we don't take Brutus out now, what we face is a lot of injuries, a lot of stressed out gators, and it'll end in death. And that's not something that we want to happen. Tim to Kyle?
Yes, Tim.
Mate, why don't you pop out backside of the Gator Lagoon?
No problem, Tim. I'll be straight there.
Kyle's worked with gators, but not like Brutus.
Jeez, he's quick.
Hey, mate.
Hey, Tim. Hey, Abs. What's going on?
We got a treat for you today.
Oh, what's going on?
Kyle doesn't know it yet, but this rookie keeper is about to receive his first lesson in gator capturing.
With the little ones, around the metre size, I have handled a bit, but ones this size, not very much experience at all. There we go. Number one rule, don't get eaten. So we'll try that and let's see how we go from there.
Take this.
Hey, watch out.
Come on. This is Brutus. Come on. That's a gator all the way up. Come on. That's good. Kyle, jump on. Okay, one more. 1, 2, 3. Okay, Kyle, you keep that tension on. Obes and I are going to go around. You right, mate? 1, 2, 3. Obes, on. Hold him, mate. Wrap it around that tree, buddy.
I'd like to know what's behind us, mate.
Brutus has now been captured, but the hard work isn't over yet. This big boy now needs to be moved to his new home, and he is not giving up without a fight.
You get ready to jump, because he's just going to roll with me. Okay, he's going. You can just Kyle on. Jump on, mate.
Well, that explains his signs.
At SASH, Lisa is examining Bello's CT results. The Cavalier King Charles Spaniel suddenly collapsed at home.
Okay, come through. So we've done the CT. His brain looks okay on the CT scan, so I think we are dealing with a primary middle ear problem. Okay. The area behind the eardrums is filled with fluid. Okay. It should be empty, and both sides are filled with fluid. I think Glenda is actually quite relieved to hear that Bello's got middle ear disease. She was so worried that it was going to be a brain problem.
Is it normal for a dog that's so healthy to get this like in 24 hours?
It can happen quickly, and you know, perhaps there was fluid in there and it was to a point, and he was coping, and then it just got too full, puts pressure on the nerves, and then bang, that's caused these signs. Okay, so next step would involve us actually taking him through to have a procedure done with one of our specialists. We're going to flush the ears and make them empty like how they should be. And I'll speak to you straight afterwards. Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks very much.
No problem. You take care.
Thank you. I am feeling relieved, but yeah, every procedure has concerns because you don't know what's going to happen. They're under a general. It'll be a long wait.
The counsellor saying, put him on a leash.
It doesn't stop him from digging at all.
Chris is attempting to come up with a solution that will stop the destructive mini pig James being banned from his local park.
I can see you are trying to do the right thing. James, I think we can safely say that this is not the answer. But if there's food, it's different, right? The thing about him is, he's like that naughty kid in school. You can't help but like him.
Sorry. No, not your bag. No.
I've seen enough to know that James does need help. He needs a solution. And I reckon I've got it. The way we do it, you ready for this?
Yeah.
It's a nose ring.
Really?
Yeah. It's going to work really well because what it does, it goes through his little nostrils there, and each time he digs, it presses, and he just feels it and goes, okay, that's not as fun as it used to be.
A nose ring? Oh, you know, I'm willing to try anything. If it works, which would be great.
He just jump on in, does he?
Yeah, you should be able to.
James, come on.
Chris is on his way to the Bondi clinic with Anna and her problem mini pig James. But getting James into the car may be as difficult as stopping the porker digging huge holes in the park.
Have you heard about my driving, James? Hey, mate. Driving okay? Almost there, buddy. Yeah, could you just do the window just here? Just this one? My little friend here, he fogged up the window.
Oh, can I pet him?
Of course you can.
Isn't he beautiful? Nice. Oh, gorgeous.
There you go. Everyone loves him.
They do.
That's what fuels the ego.
He has got quite an ego.
We're here. We're close. We're close. Oh, gee. Didn't really expect that. Come on, mate. Come on. I know. Let's go. Look at this. Mention of a piercing. Look at you go. Let's go. Oh. He's never seen a pig before?
No.
It's a big day in his life.
Hello, what have you brought today?
Just a pig.
Just a pig?
For a nose ring. You know anything about piercings?
No, not at all. Maybe we could do one later if we've got a spare one.
Anytime you hear the two words nose and ring put together, I think of one thing. Lola.
No. Didn't quite work out.
It was nearly an all-day battle to try to get a nose ring into her. I think in the end, after biting, kicking, running away, through pity and exhaustion, she eventually gave in and the nose ring went in.
1, 2, 3.
If I've learned one thing from Lola, it's to take the home ground advantage. On my turf, James should be mine.
Okay, he's going. You can do Kyle on, jump on, mate. Let Obes work there for a minute and just jump on, just smother him, mate, that's it. Be at the back today, mate.
At the Australian Reptile Park, Tim, Obie and Kyle are struggling to restrain Brutus. The 400-kilo killer has been attacking the other gators in the lagoon and needs to be removed.
If he rolls, mate, you just get your foot out from under him. Don't keep it under there or he'll snap it. He'll snap it, no problems. He's a good boy. Yep. Not so tough now, hey, buddy? Not so tough now. Ooh, bit of commotion. Maybe that was a celebration of the removal of Brutus. 1, 2, 3. That's it, mate, good job. Again, 1, 2, 3. Once we've caught Brutus, that attracts interest from the other gators. They think it's feed time and they're moving in. And that's not something that we want to happen. Throw us a stick, we don't want him up. Stay away, buddy. Hey. There you go. Stay away.
Watch that little one to your side, mate.
Just hold steady for a second. Pull it back.
At SASH, Lisa is working with dermatologist Dr. Philippa Ravens to unblock 6-year-old Bello's ears.
So what I think we're going to do now is see if we can make a little hole in that eardrum and try and drain it.
The Cavalier King Charles Spaniel was rushed to SASH after suddenly collapsing at home. A build-up of fluid behind the eardrums has compressed his balance nerve and resulted in severe vertigo.
Really tenacious bit.
When we make that first puncture in Bello's eardrum, what comes out is just this thick material. The middle ears should not have any fluid in them. They should be filled with air, and Bello's middle ears are just packed with this thick, slimy mucus. We're flushing out all that muck, and hopefully that's going to relieve the pressure on his nerves and improve his balance. That must be so painful.
So see, go in a bit more. We might actually just need to break it off piece by piece.
Look at that, that is so thick.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God.
Look at that.
Seriously.
Wow,
that's
a lot of mucus. Well done, team.
Lovely.
I think we've pretty much got most of it out, but sometimes there's just a little bit of mucus. Certainly, I think he was towards the more extreme end.
It will be interesting to see how quickly he recovers. Some dogs get better as soon as they wake up from the anaesthetic, and some take a few more days. But no doubt he will be feeling instant relief. I think he's pretty comfy now, snoring away. You got some relief, huh, buddy? You just have a good snooze.
We treat that dog like our family members. Yeah, we very sad at the moment. Yeah, very nervous. Yeah.
Spoiled puppy Laker has been rushed into SASH by his worried owners Jeff and Jessie after swallowing an extremely dangerous object.
Okay, so what's happened?
My wife fixed the clothes. She forgot the needle and leave on the table.
Yes.
And the dog just very quick come to grab and ate.
Ate the needle?
Yeah, ate the needle.
Oh, goodness. Was there string on the needle?
Yes.
How long was the string, do you think?
About that long.
We'll put him on the table. I'll have a look at him. Hi, cutie pie. Oh, bub.
Very difficult.
Oh, can't see anything there so far. Until we know where that needle is in his body, there's no way that we can tell how we're going to get it out. I think it's a better idea to take the x-ray now, and then I'll talk to you about what we're going to do. Even though Lake is acting like nothing's happening, he's bright and he's happy, if we leave that needle in there, it could perforate through his intestines, through his stomach, it could cause septic peritonitis, and he can die from that. He's your baby?
Yeah, we love that dog very much.
I can tell.
Stay away, buddy. Hey.
Watch that little one onto your side, mate.
Hey, off you go, please. We don't want you up here.
At the Alligator Lagoon at the Australian Reptile Park, Brutus's capture has attracted a lot of unwanted attention.
Off you go, mate. They're hungry and they're quick, so it's a dangerous mix. Whoa. It's a bit daunting having him sitting there and big male gators right here.
With the deadly onlookers now at a safe distance,
Tim to Jules.
Tim calls for backup to help move the 400-kilo predator to his new home.
Oh, we're going to need an army of guys to move Brutus, Jules. We're out here now. He's all tied up and you better get Big Johnny.
I'll be there as soon as possible.
If we don't take Brutus out now, what we face is a lot of injuries, a lot of stressed out gators, and just not a happy pond in general. Hey, gang, we need everyone, all hands on deck, just to lift him, then we've got to move him. Oh, crikey. Hold him. Okay, let's go. We had 8 to 10 people on that board. Let's say we're carrying 50 kilos each and we were still struggling.
Oh, hang on.
Right. We start walking and very soon we're in mud, holes, trees, logs, rocks. 2, 3. Righto. We'll get a little bit more help, hey? We need more help, so we call in extra people again. That's it.
I'm feeling like it.
One more. That's it. Okay.
This is a big 400-kilo gator.
Everyone down?
Stupidest thing we've ever decided to do.
What's wrong, Abs?
Oh, I'm a wee bit unfit.
Oh, jeez. Yep, on the trolley. Further. This lagoon is not designed for taking big gators out. It's horrible getting them out. Well done.
All right, ready?
Yep, just go easy, mate.
Oh, yeah?
We've got to go over fences and then we've got to take Brutus into the park area, the main park area with all the visitors. And very quickly they swarm. They all want to see Brutus. All right, guys. Hop on back there. We're going to lift him up now. Ready? 1, 2. Just sit him down, guys. We can slide. That's good, guys. That's enough. Just sing out if you need anything. Oh, no.
You know, mate, some humans willingly get these nose rings, you know. Yeah, well, look at you now.
At the Bondi Clinic, Chris is hoping a nose ring will put an end to James's destructive behaviour. The porker has been digging huge holes at the local park. The council is ready to ban him.
Thanks, James.
The fact is, Anna has no choice here. She has to put in a nose ring if she's going to be any chance of allowing James to go to the park again.
James, is this to your liking?
He's not really a gold man.
No, I don't think he's a gold man
More
either.
silver. Putting the nose ring in is easy. Anaesthetising him to the point where you can put the nose ring in safely, that's the tricky part. Can you just watch out? Because when he feels this, he will jump.
Yeah.
So what should happen now is that he should just start to feel a bit sleepy, as you can see. Yep. All right. It's a big needle though. How this ring works is pretty simple. You can see it's got a little latch there, and when the pliers close, it actually locks that inside the nose. But to actually get it through the nose requires a fair bit of pushing, so you need to be precise, but at the same time, quite forceful. Okay, go through. So that's in, and just spin it around, and you can see the latch. It's gone through perfectly.
Wow, that looks good.
The great thing is now when he digs, he hits there.
That is so much drool.
From here, James is going to rest up for a few days, get used to having that nose ring. Then comes the big test. He's going to go back to the park in about a week. And we're going to find out if he digs.
James, do you like the new nose ring? No, not really. Not right now. But maybe give him some time. Yeah? You'll think about it? Yeah, there we go. We got one.
Laker decided to swallow a sewing needle with some thread on it.
That's clever.
It's very clever. So we're just going to get some x-rays. I need your help because I can't obviously do it. Mm-hmm. In my current state, I can't actually be exposed to radiation, so I'm going to need an extra hand to make sure that I'm safe as well.
As vet nurse Nikki assists Lisa with the x-rays,
We got to see where it is.
Laker's owners Jeff and Jesse nervously wait in the sash reception.
We're still quite worried. Yeah, still quite worried.
All right, so there it is. It's a big needle.
It's massive.
The fact that it's in his stomach means that an endoscopy, putting the camera down there, is still an option. There's no guarantee that when we get down there with the camera that we're even going to be able to grab that needle, let alone find it and pull it out. I don't want Laker to go under the knife. I don't want him to have surgery, and this is the next best option. Got to see what your mum and dad want to do now. So he definitely swallowed the needle.
Yes.
I think the best thing would be to give him an anaesthetic and try and pull it out with the camera. It's only a little dog and it's a big needle, and I'm worried that that could get stuck if we don't do anything.
Okay, yeah, we definitely need to do something.
I never feel comfortable when a sharp metal object is in an animal's stomach, intestines, bowel, anywhere. It could get stuck, it could perforate through his bowel, and that's a pretty serious emergency. We got to get this out of Laker. Good boy. Have a little sleep now.
At Sash, Laker's endoscopy is about to begin.
You can do it, Phil.
Yeah, well, we're just going down. This is the easy bit. Hard bit's finding the needle.
Dr. Philip Brain is performing the delicate procedure.
Like finding a needle in the haystack.
Proverbial.
We just have to use that camera to scan the stomach, hoping that we find that piece of string and the needle on the end of it.
We thought they might be the needles like through, but I think it's just thread that's come off the needle.
You know, we see a little hair and it's magnified and we think, oh, that's the string, and we try and grab it and then we pull it and it comes out as nothing. And it's quite frustrating and unnerving.
That would have been too easy, wouldn't it?
It's just taking us a while to get orientated in there, and haven't found anything yet.
Righto, let's get him in his home.
2, 3.
Wait, guys, wait. That's it.
Aggressive alligator Brutus is being moved into isolation after attacking his neighbours at the Australian Reptile Park.
Guys, there's a big drop-off behind my side here.
It's proving to be a logistical nightmare.
Swing it round. Go down. No.
It's taken 30 minutes and 10 staff to move this massive 400-kilo gator to his new home.
It's going to take the gators a couple of days to realise that Brutus is not there. He's a real stirrer, and he goes gator after gator after gator, just testing them, see if he can put it over them. They're going to be pretty relieved when that doesn't happen today.
Right, mouse free.
Yep, I'm off, Tim. Good. I'm off. I'm way back.
Brutus, in a very short time, will own that pen. Time will tell whether we put him back into this lagoon, his gator lagoon, or he may need to stay by himself for a while. See you, mate.
You're going to meet a huge array of people.
The heart of it is they just love their animals.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
After a busy day of dealing with James the pig...
This us here?
Yeah.
Chris and Neil are volunteering their time to a community clinic called Pets in the Park.
What's that, Cookie? What's that?
I've been doing this for about 3 or 4 months now, and it's one of the highlights of my month. And just to see these people's faces, it's an amazing feeling when you go home. You're walking home on cloud 9.
Dr. Mark Westman started the free monthly clinic to help those struggling financially to care for their pets.
Pets in the Park is really designed to look after Sydney's homeless and severely disadvantaged. Some of our clients will feed their animals before they feed themselves, and so we want to tie in and do what we can to help out their animals and hopefully also help out the owners at the same time.
This is Rodney and Di.
G'day, Di. How you going?
Chris's first patient is 6-month-old Isabella. Owner Rodney is worried about his little girl.
Oh, we heard about the pets in the park, and I thought it'd be a good opportunity to come and just find out if she was pregnant. She's not to sex, so we're not sure.
Okay. I certainly know what you mean. She's a little bit rotund, a little bit pear-shaped. So we need to work out why that is. Yeah. I think I can feel little fluid-filled sacs in there, which would more than likely say that she is pregnant. I'd say she's about a month or so in, maybe.
It sounds about right. It's been about 4 weeks that she's been like this.
It may be too late for the pregnant Isabella, but these clinics do provide free desexing to try and control the numbers of unwanted kittens.
We'll look to vaccinate her and worm her, but also maybe do a bit of a nail trim as well.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you'd probably benefit from that too. You could have used these to fend off the boys.
Good on you guys. All right, thanks for that. See you.
Annual vaccinations, flea treatments, routine nail trims and basic medical care for an animal cost hundreds of dollars.
Good girl, get it.
But today, all of these services are being performed free.
Well, you get so much out of having a pet, don't you?
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, they become like your children, don't they?
You know, that phrase, unconditional love, it gets thrown around a lot, but when you come here today, you see its true meaning, because here, these pets, they don't ask for much, but what they get in return is so much love. For these people, these pets may be their only companion. So is she doing a lot of scratching? Is that the problem?
24/7. She just scratches and scratches and scratches.
Okay.
Laney's 12-month-old pooch Tiffany is suffering a common problem.
I can already see something that might be the culprit here. Can you see this little guy running through here?
Yeah, she's got heaps of them, actually.
Yeah.
I bath her every day.
Do you?
Just to try and get rid of them.
See, this might be the problem though, because a lot of these flea treatments, what they do is the treatments sit in the skin oils.
Oh, okay.
So if you bath her every day, you actually wash away a lot of those oils, so you almost wash away the treatment. If you're guilty of one thing, it's probably caring too much, you know?
She means the world to me.
I can tell.
She's just, because I was living rough on the streets, and I only just got a place last year.
Yeah.
And my daughter gave me her for my birthday.
Yeah.
And I just go, oh, I've got to have her. I can't get rid of her.
Yeah, good on you. So maybe if we give her a flea treatment and don't bathe her for at least 2 weeks or so, and you should notice that the fleas should then fall off her and die in that time.
Thanks, Dr. Chris.
No worries at all.
You have a good weekend.
You too, good to see you.
We'll see you next time, all right, my
Okay.
love? Thank you, bye-bye.
Bye. I came here really with no idea what to expect, but what I found is a whole lot of people with a whole lot of pets of all shapes and sizes, but the one thing they all have in common is they love their animals and they would do anything for them. The bond they have is so incredibly deep and so incredibly special.
Kiss. Give mommy a kiss.
It's a little bit frustrating, isn't it, when you get to this level?
At SASH, Lisa and Dr. Philip Brain are struggling to find the large sewing needle lodged in little Laker's stomach.
The thread could be wrapped up in that little ball, but let's have a look.
Time is ticking by, and I know that Jeff and Jessie are waiting in the waiting room. I'm just hoping that he doesn't have to end up on the operating table.
OK, just open.
Finally, a breakthrough.
We've found the eye of the needle and the thread that's attached to it. Hard work's trying to get it out.
We do have to manoeuvre it to get it out in the right orientation, otherwise we can get it snagged. And I think that's what's happening now a little bit. Close.
Is that
You
it?
can live in hope.
Yes! Woohoo! Yay!
Isn't that nice? Have we got the culprit?
Like the whole needle. It is a huge relief for us, and Jeff's going to be over the moon, as is, I'm sure, little Laker when he wakes up. Yeah, we got a high five, Phil.
We can do that.
You're just a happy little boy. You are. Yeah, you are. You still want the cuddles and you don't even know what's going on.
Needle-loving Laker has fully recovered from his endoscopy and is now ready to be reunited with Jeff and Jessie.
Yes, you swallowed a needle. For Laker, it was a bit of an easy ride. Lots of cuddles, a good snooze, and out the door. For Jeff and Jessie, it was a lot of distress about their little baby and whether or not he'd survive. There you go.
Can I have that one?
Yeah, and he's awake. He can go home tonight.
Oh, okay.
There was no damage to the tummy or no damage to the esophagus, so he's very lucky. The needle is very sharp and it didn't do any damage.
Yeah, it's amazing.
We checked everything, so it's amazing.
Next time need to very be careful when use sharp things, but he's very lucky.
You're saying thank you? I say thank you very much, thank you.
What a huge relief for Laker and the whole family. I mean, to their surprise, Laker's gone home tonight, so it's happy endings for everyone.
Okay, bye-bye.
See you later, bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bello, you want to come out?
Next day, Lisa is ready to release Bello. 24 hours ago, the Cavalier King Charles Spaniel was unable to stand. An emergency procedure to clear the dangerous blockage in his ear has been successful.
Good boy, Bello.
Although it will take some time for his balance nerve to fully recover.
He was so dizzy. He was experiencing signs like people with vertigo. It was like he was in a washing machine, roller coaster, spinning around, and just had no control of it. Good boy, Bello. He is strutting his stuff, wagging his tail. He is a different dog to what he was when he came in.
Glenda and her son Matthew are waiting to take their beloved Cavalier home.
I was very relieved it wasn't a brain tumour and it came out to be mucus in the ears.
You want to go see Mum? Should we go? Let's go. Come on.
I think we're going to have to give him a lot of TLC. He's going to have a lot of love and care.
Look who's there.
I'm going to start crying.
Look who's there.
Hello. Oh, he looks so much better.
He's walking and he's wagging his tail and he's happy.
He's so much better. Kiss, 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 kiss. Oh, yes. We've missed kisses. Yes, we have. Haven't we? Compared to when we brought him in. It's amazing. Sorry, I'm emotional.
No, you're allowed to be emotional. This is a pretty traumatic thing.
It is. To go from healthy to being that sick, and now he's sort of bounced back.
Yeah.
It's so good.
That was a delightful reunion. Glenda was so emotional. I didn't think she had any idea that Bello would be this good.
This is overwhelming.
There's no holes. That's a good sign.
It's been 1 week since Chris gave James a nose ring to stop his obsessive digging.
I'm coming back to the scene of the crime to see if this nose ring has worked. If it hasn't, this could be the last time James ever sets foot in this park.
James was facing a ban from the local park due to his destructive behaviour.
Hello, matey.
Hello. How are you?
Oh, yeah. So what, he's walking around, he's still sniffing out things, he's still the same James, but just he's not doing the excavations.
No, there is a lot more sniffing though.
So he's thinking about what he could do,
Yeah.
but he's not actually carrying through with the digging.
No digging.
It's incredible that a nose ring, something that looks quite simple, can make such a huge difference. He can still sniff, he can still do all the things he likes to do, but the moment he actually pushes his nose into the ground, the ring pushes into his nose, and he goes, you know what? This ain't so fun. So did you miss the bad boy though?
Honestly, no. Not at all. It's a lot easier.
He is a better pig now. He can still come to the park, be the centre of attention, which he loves, but not be the serial park pest. You're going to be just fine, aren't you? Guess that was goodbye.
I think that's his way of saying thank you.
You know, every so often you meet someone who's making a real difference. In Thailand, a guy called Edwin Week is famous and sometimes infamous for his work to save and rehabilitate wildlife that seemingly have no hope. At his rescue centre, he looks after more than 400 different animals. And I know they're always in need of volunteers, so that's where I'm heading now, to see if I can lend a hand.
Chris has travelled 125 kilometres south of Bangkok to help out the Wildlife Friends Foundation. It's run by Dutch-born Edwin Wick and his team of dedicated volunteers.
Hello. Oh, wow. How are you, Edwin? It's great to see you, buddy.
Good to see you again.
Hello, Noi. How are you? Look at you.
Say hello to Chris.
You know, I associate you with monkeys, but normally not quite as cute as this.
No, these are actually leaf monkeys. Yeah. It's not like the little buggers that we saw last time. Not as naughty. Not as naughty.
I first met Edwin last year when I travelled to a town called Lopburi, which has been totally overrun with monkeys.
Oh, that's your guy.
Now, they came in from the forest, lured in by the promise of food offerings from the local temple, but now there are so many, they can't possibly all find food. They'd struggle without this sort of feeding, wouldn't they?
They wouldn't be able to survive without handouts.
Yeah, it's a hell of a handout too. It really impressed me, and it made me interested to see what other work Edwin does. That's part of the reason I wanted to come back. And I would have driven in further, but you had a fairly large roadblock there.
Yeah. This is one of the rescued elephants called Bun Mi, rescued from the streets of Thailand, basically a begging elephant. She's about 60 years old, and she's retired. And the only thing she does is eat, sleep, and poo.
Well, I'm here to work, mate.
Your vet skills should be coming in handy with girls like this.
Yeah.
But I think we should first have a tour.
Edwin founded the Wildlife Rescue Centre in 2001. It's a sanctuary for hundreds of animals, which are the victims of maltreatment or neglect.
Somehow I like to believe that once the animals arrive at the rescue centre, they got another chance at life. In most cases, we are able to do that. So that's a good feeling. The difference we make on the whole scale of things, this huge illegal wildlife trade, what we do is a little drop. But for the animals that we've rescued, it was a world of a difference.
This isn't a zoo for the public to visit, but it does open its doors to volunteers from around the world.
I was only meant to stay 6 weeks and I've stayed 11. It just opens your eyes to how much damage humans have caused, but also how much good you can do in return.
This is actually something I'd like to show you. This is the gibbon rehab forest.
Yeah.
And over here we hold gibbons that we've rescued over the years and are being made ready to go back to the wild.
Hi. 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 What's with the noise? Covering up doesn't make it better. This girl produces these volumes not just with a voice, but using this massive air sac she inflates, almost like her own personal amplifier. It's very effective.
The call actually between a male and a female is a huge difference. You could hear it from miles away, whether it's male or female. You realize later on when you walk around here that this was a female, very long whoop, 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 whoop. And the male is much shorter. It goes like whoop, 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 whoop. We have approximately 90 gibbons here, almost 100% expats. Kept at people's houses and fed the wrong kind of food. Lots of sweets, some of them even drink cola, some of them eat candy. So they have medical issues, diabetes, they got cataracts, eye problems, overweight. They're just not very healthy.
So people just can't look after them. They get sick, they realise they're too much work, and then they hand them into you.
One of the most common reasons for handing them over is they become aggressive, we can't hold them any longer. Second thing is, my neighbors are complaining about the noise. They sing pretty loud, as you have found out. You see, he's giving you your hand. He wants to hold you. They don't know that they're gibbons. They think that they're like furry people.
He's obviously an incredibly beautiful little guy. But, you know, if he has any fault, it's probably he's too trusting. He just wants to be held and wants to feel like he's got some sort of company there.
The most time we spend on rehabilitating gibbons is re-socializing. Make him able to communicate and live together with other gibbons. And then how to behave in the forest before they go back. It's a bit of a gibbon school.
There are more than 400 animals here and just as many stories of heartbreak and neglect.
Hi, Cha-Cha. Hi. Her name is Cha-Cha. She was actually tied to a little chain in a bar to entertain customers.
Really?
And we took her away. It's about a year and a half ago.
Yeah. There's a lot of smiling going on.
Yeah, that's not really smiling. He is actually, basically he's saying like, if I could get you, I would bite you.
Oh. Just get your hands nice and close.
Edwin.
Hi, Louise.
The rescue team have been out and caught a large snake. They're on their way back to the hospital now.
They said it was big, but you know, I don't know. If it's a cobra, 3.5 meter, is quite big. But if it's a python, it could be up to 5 meters.
As far as the first challenge goes here, this is a pretty good one. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's big. This snake is not going to be easy. It's a reticulated python, right?
Yep. I was hoping for a Burmese python because they're easier to handle.
Yeah, no, so
these ones are these ones are very tough.
I was hoping for something a little smaller.
Yeah. It's pretty heavy.
Oh, it's really heavy.
There we are. Hi, Louise.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I said. How you going?
Oh my God.
Scottish-born Louise has been working at the foundation for 12 months.
When that thing came in, I just thought, do we even have to take it out of the cage? Can't we just look at it from the outside?
So you weren't exactly brought up catching these?
No, but I'm sure you can teach me the ways.
So we obviously don't know how he was caught doing and whether he might have injuries.
No, exactly. So we need to really check him out before we know we can let him go or he needs treatment.
All we know is that this snake appeared in someone's house. Now, they were going to kill him, yet someone stepped in and said, hey, don't kill him. But we don't know exactly how many injuries he's incurred while he's been caught.
Shall I open it
Yep,
for you?
if we can slide that open.
Just slide it open.
The only way to know what is actually going on with him is to get him out of this cage. stretch him right out and have a good look. That's not going to be easy.
Okay.
The worry with reticulated pythons comes from two fronts. Stretch him out. First of all, their bite. They do actually have quite big teeth. But secondly, it's the fact the moment you threaten them, they will coil around you and tighten. And this isn't a small snake. About 3.5, 4 metres. Okay, so if I can just get you to keep a hand there.
The python is covered in ticks, but Chris is concerned about a more serious issue.
His skin isn't exactly springing back, it's just retaining its shape when I lift it up, so he is quite dehydrated, so we're probably going to need to give him a bit of a hand there as well.
Fluids will help the python recover, and then hopefully it can be returned to the wild.
I can totally understand the people that found this python wanting to get rid of it. The thought of it in my house freaks me out, but thankfully, instead of killing it, they called Edwin.
Okay, first job. You didn't do that bad. You can stay.
But I'm relieved. You're a very kind man.
Yeah, I know. So we're going to see one bear now, Pepsi. Yep. She's a bear rescued about 8 years ago, and she needs to get a dental treatment probably first to check her out.
It's Chris's second day at the Wildlife Centre, and his next challenge is to treat an aggressive sun bear that's in pain.
Pepsi has developed a lot of tartar inside her mouth, on the teeth. There's concern they're sore, so my job today is to check them out.
Give us a smile. Oh, good girl. Good girl.
This is the bear they're talking about.
Not so close. She can reach through there. Pepsi was rescued from a temple and looked after by monks, and as is often the case, has a terrible diet before she came here.
The fact she had a poor diet meant that her teeth just never really have been in good shape. Since she's come in here, she's had a long history of dental problems, and today we're determined to make sure there's no serious issues in there. Every now and then, I do just get a little glimpse of those discoloured teeth. Just the brown coating, the lower canine looks quite dark as well.
And we want to catch it before it turns into full abscess and then the bear can't eat.
But there's obviously got to be a fair bit of care here because she can really turn.
Yeah, no one goes that side of the bars. Ever.
The only way we're going to be able to do this is by darting her and then under anaesthetic having a closer look.
You a good shot?
I'm okay.
Good.
I know I'm going to have to be better than okay right now, but
yeah.
I'm okay.
If you miss once, then they become really difficult, so first shot.
One shot.
One shot.
Okay, having a look in, and yeah, she's fully in. As I'm lining up the shot, Louise's words are echoing in my mind. One shot. It has to be one shot. So I take my time, and at just the moment where she turns around, I go. It looked like it had solid contact and stayed in there for a few seconds, so it should have injected into the muscle. There we go.
Yep.
Okay.
Good. Nice shot.
So how do we know she's fully asleep here? Can we prod her or?
We'll use the high-tech banana test.
Banana test?
Banana test. We're gonna just gently throw a banana at her from outside the cage.
They teach you this at university in Scotland, or was this a new thing here?
Yeah, there's a full course on the banana test.
So just at her, and if she flinches, then she's obviously
Then she's not sleepy enough.
Not sleepy enough. It's quite ridiculous, throwing bananas at a sleep bear.
Then we try the broom test.
It's a two-stage test.
Yeah, sure.
I already feel stupid enough throwing bananas at a bear that's asleep.
I know, we made that up just for you. Okay, good.
Okay.
Pass.
So she's out, right?
She's out, good. So we will give her a quick check with a stethoscope. We'll get our team to come down and we can load her onto the sidecar and take her straight to the hospital.
Okay, there's a bit of a reflex there, but she's certainly looking deep enough to make this journey now.
Whereas you know what to expect with a dog or a cat, the thing about a bear is they're not anaesthetised every day, so we don't really have the data, we don't really know the dosages and how long they stay under for. So we're flying pretty blind right now. All right, so do you want me to ride up with her?
Yep.
It looks like the anaesthetic is taking effect, but if she does wake up, she'd knock me down with her heavy hands and then slice and dice me with those massive claws of hers. Not ideal all round, really. The sidecar is the perfect form of animal transportation. It delivers Pepsi straight to the door of the vet clinic. I'd like to get one of those for Bondi.
Pepsi was rescued from a temple. A poor diet has taken its toll.
You can see now that she's asleep, really thick layers of tartar over these canine teeth here and also some of these incisors. So the hope is, once we can scale that away, there should be a healthy tooth underneath. We hope. Even though Pepsi is asleep, it doesn't mean we have all the time in the world. We've got to work to a really strict time schedule here because she cannot stay under anaesthetic for too long. It's the sound that sends shivers down everyone's spine. Thankfully, Pepsi isn't awake to hear it.
Do we need to do any extractions?
Some of these front incisors aren't looking great. There's actually one that's a little bit loose there.
The fact is, if we can avoid having to extract any teeth, then we will. But looking at this little incisor here, it's loose, and anyone that's had a loose tooth knows that it wobbles around and it's quite painful, so it is going to have to go. Of all the teeth to remove on a bear, though, this is the one you want to take out. It's the smallest tooth out of the whole set. All right, that side's done. Let's spin her. Despite the challenges of her being a Sunbear, having massive teeth, being potentially aggressive, having massive claws, it's all gone pretty much to plan. Now that she's all done, we're going to get her back down to her enclosure, in the sidecar of course, so she can wake up and be greeted by her best friend, Koala. That's right, Pepsi and Koala. I didn't make that up. Looks good?
Yeah, we should get out.
Yeah, all right. Don't have to ask me twice.
2 hours later, Pepsi has made a full recovery and is reunited with Koala. And Chris is back at the clinic learning about another special little orphan.
Wow. Come here.
Oh. Hey. Dunkao was bought in a market for 800 baht. Like so many of these cute-looking animals, I mean, you can see by her face why people would want to have her as a pet.
Why is she funny with me?
She's a bit scared of men. She, like a lot of the babies that we get, her mum was being poached from the wild to sell a baby in a market as a pet.
Okay.
And I mean, they're so cute, you can tell why people want them, but...
So men might have done that?
Yeah, I think so. Okay.
When you see these little faces, you can understand why people fall under their spell, why they would pay some money to have a photo or to have a hold. But this is the problem, isn't it?
Oh, don't go. You scary man. It's already over for her. She's got a lifetime in captivity now because she can never be released. She's never grown up in the wild. Thankfully, once she's been hand-reared in a few more months, she can go and join our langurs in a big enclosure. I mean, it's nothing, obviously, compared to what she would have in the wild, and that's what we're trying to get across, you know, to try and not support animals exploited in tourism or in the pet trade. Although it's really cute to see her running about, we don't want her here. We want her where she's supposed to be. Oh, yeah. Good girl.
We currently keep around 400 animals here at the rescue center. That sounds like a lot. It is a lot. The worst thing actually of that is that 80% of those animals will never go back to the wild. There's no suitable place, or the animals aren't physically or mentally capable of surviving in the wild. So that's a tough one. That's really a tough thing to see. Making a difference is always difficult. You're fighting against people that make a lot of money out of illegal wildlife trade, exploitation of wildlife in tourism industry. You have a lot of enemies. I think Gandhi said once that when you want to change the world, people will laugh at you. When you start changing the world, people will fight you. And eventually they see you're making a difference, they'll join you.
Oh, that's a good girl. That's all gone. All gone.
Hi, Chris. Chris, I got a call. Just a monkey has actually entered the school and is trying to attack or scaring the children. Yeah. So we gotta go. We gotta probably move that monkey out of that school.
Yeah, sure. Sure. No worries.
Edwin and his team are on call around the clock to help rescue animals in trouble.
Okay, we're all set. It's done. Gun ready, medical supplies ready.
Do we know the condition of the monkey now?
He's probably hungry. It's dry season. He's also lonely. He wants to find a group, and yeah, somehow he got lost, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, here it is. That's the school.
Yeah.
The kindergarten and the temple. We'll park the cars down here.
Chris and Edwin have been called out to capture a rogue monkey threatening children at a local school.
Okay.
So do we know where it is in here?
They said it's somewhere behind here. This is not normal. They've never seen a monkey around here. They said it's the first time, and this has been pretty aggressive. Next to the school and the little kindergarten over here, it can do some real damage. Eventually, he's going to come down again, but I'd like to get him down our way.
The locals are saying they've seen it on the roof, but just look in the roof now, there's no sign. So Edwin's just trying to work out where it could be, but they're so fast and so elusive that
he seems to be on the other side, near the temple. He's on the roof.
The worry is if we can't catch him today, then some of the locals may have a go themselves. And that may not be kind, it may not be as gentle as we're hoping this is going to be. I've seen through here. So just where one of the roofs comes down at an angle, he's just perched in there and he's found a little ledge and a little, almost looks like a window he's poking his head through. So is he inside the temple there? Actually inside the window?
Yes.
If he goes in around the temple, are there any rules around?
No, we just have to take our shoes off, that's all.
But we can still shoot him in?
We can still shoot him in the temple, as long as you do it with your shoes off. Let's go.
You see him? It looks like he's around the corner there.
He's a big boy?
Yeah.
Got him. He's very elusive. He's very quick. There's buildings, there's rooftops, there's branches. I have only a split second to point the gun and to actually pull the trigger.
You might think that maybe it's time for me to have a shot. Edwin is a former Special Forces soldier. This is a time where I'm quite happy to stand back and let him take it.
Well, I still have to get the right shot, though. The first one, I hit him in the hip, which was good, but it got out very quickly. You need about 3, 4, 5 seconds for all the anesthesia to go. You can see he's a bit wobbly, but not wobbly enough to catch him yet. The second shot I missed. He feels pretty safe up there, and we can hardly get up. I can't walk on that roof. The roof tiles are just too thin.
Edwin needs a change of tactics, so locals bring in a crane.
Dog, you one, don't cap.
So he's climbed onto this roof now, which is it's actually a crematorium. He's hiding just on this ledge behind this big brick chimney here.
Godverdomme! Hou ik dog nu? Houd die kop maar lui! He's
off again.
Hou ik dog nu? I just can't get the shot. Sorry, you know. ฮะ? มันขยับตัวไม่ได้อะมันมีคนมานั่งอยู่ด้วยมันไม่ไหว
This monkey's amazing. I mean, you know they're intelligent, you know they're agile, you know they're fast, and he's just proving to be every single one of those things.
On the other side again. It's too high on that roof. I don't have a shot.
With so many children around, locals want to see the monkey caught and removed as soon as possible.
You think he's going to stay on the roof?
Yeah, so many people around and I can't control the people around us. That's the problem. I got 20 people walking around. They're all running, shouting, laughing. Not ideal. I think I'm more stressed than the monkey is.
Suddenly, the monkey makes a break for it. Now Edwin can get a clear shot.
Got him. Wow.
Good shot, mate. That was a very good shot.
Okay, Ling, the monkey is down from the injection, so I just gotta get the youngest, the smallest guys to come.
Even though he's now gone to sleep, the problem is that he's now asleep on the roof. The roof tiles are too fragile for anyone like me or Edwin to go out there and actually go and pick him up. So I'm now trying to work out a way to get this monkey off the roof.
There you go.
There he is.
Come on, boy.
In this situation, Edwin could have very easily just given up quite early, but it's in these times where you realise that he does this for the love of it. He's really persistent, really committed to making sure this monkey and all the other animals get the best possible home they can.
Look at these teeth. They can do some real damage to a child.
His heart rate's incredibly high, so it's a measure of, I guess, the stress that he's gone through over the last little while, but also the fact that he's not completely under anaesthetic.
He's really getting stronger and stronger. If you get the other arm to the back.
The monkey needs to be taken back to the rescue centre for observation before it can be released.
I think people think it's really interesting to see the monkey finally being caught. They want the monkey out of here, but they also want the monkey out in a nice way. That's why you saw that even the local municipality brought that crane. People want to get it done properly. People want to go home and say, well, end of the story is a good story. And yeah, that makes me happy, actually, to see that. That means we're not just only us, a bunch of crazy animal lovers, you know, that want to do something good, but we actually feel, when we're talking to the kids and the adults around here, the teachers, that they all feel that this is important, that it's done properly, so it makes you feel good. Kapong kap. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. We've got one elephant called Buangun. She's an old lady. She needs some treatment for her abscesses. She got half a dozen abscesses over her body, and maybe you could help and check on her and help to clean it out.
All glamorous jobs, right?
Yep. Only for you. Special jobs.
I've done plenty of abscesses in dogs and cats, but I get the feeling with an elephant, it might be entirely different.
At the Wildlife Friends Foundation in Thailand, Chris is helping out the boss, Edwin Week.
That's an abscess there?
Yeah, that's one of the abscesses that needs treatment.
9 rescue elephants are now permanent residents at the centre, and most have chronic, long-term health issues.
She's been used heavily in the tourism industry and before that in the logging industry. So she has had these abscesses probably years before she was rescued. She had about triple amount of abscesses when she was brought in, but the treatment has been taken over 2 years now. So it's a matter of cleaning really well every other day.
That's why I'm here.
To treat a girl this size, it's going to take a team effort.
So we got some volunteers, 2 girls from Australia, 1 from Canada, and they're going to help you.
Hello, how you going?
Hello, good, thanks.
So you guys can help? Band together, a bit of Aussie spirit and triumph over the Dutchman here?
About time.
These abscesses are huge. I mean, they make grapefruits look small. You can feel the pus inside them too. So it's important we get as much pus out of those as we can.
Thailand has about 2,200 elephants in the wild and approximately 2,500 in captivity. The problem is that captive elephants are placed under the livestock laws, so they can be bought and sold just like a cow, a horse, or a buffalo. But we have no animal welfare laws. So the treatment of elephants in captivity is hard to control. And that's one of our biggest problems.
So you got a favourite in there? Amongst the corn, the pineapple?
She really likes the corn.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Elephants are being exploited, working long hours, going through heavy training sessions with a lot of cruelty. I think that's one of the biggest problems we really have when it comes to animal welfare. It's not only the local tourism industry now demanding for these elephants, even China as a growing nation now wants these elephants. And you know, when there's a demand and there's a lack of enforcement, there's going to be illegal trade.
That is deep.
Yeah, huge.
The really hard thing to accept about all these abscesses is that they all arise from the same cause. This hard life these elephants have had to lead. Oh, there we go. The worry with Bua is, given her history in logging and in tourism, that perhaps mahouts may have hit her with sticks. Those little sticks break the skin, bacteria get underneath the skin, and from there set up infections. Now we've got it clean, the plan is to try to get as much of this antibiotic cream up there as we can. And then, with any luck, this might just stay in there. Just make sure that that environment in there, which is now sterile, stays as close to that as possible. All right, next one. There we go. Here's the leg. It's almost like she knows I'm out there somewhere and just isn't quite sure where, so just starts kicking in all directions. While this is an uncomfortable thing for Bill to go through, it's just such a small part of a day. The rest of a day is filled up with play, filled up with food, and filled up with love. And it's miles away from her old life. I think after we've had a bath together and I've tended to your wounds, we now know each other quite well. So it only makes sense that I'd feed you as well, yeah? Cool. Beautiful. This is a good spot. Yeah.
Chris and Edwin are about to release a wild monkey which was terrorising children at a local school.
There we are.
It's a bit calmer than the schoolyard.
You see how wild he gets?
Yeah.
I think he realizes that he's somewhere he should be.
So there'll be a few monkeys around here, but not too many.
Yeah, he might have some old friends here or some old enemies, we don't know.
He can smell them out and he can smell his natural habitat. He just wants to get out there.
Go this way.
Yep. So just looking for a shady spot close to that, that hill there.
I'm actually quite worried he's going to go after us. So I think it's better to actually put the cage on the side, unlock it, walk a few meters back, and let it go.
Okay, let's do this.
Here are the monkeys. We've got to hurry.
All right. Okay, let's do this.
There he goes. That was easy.
After all the build-up, it was a bit of a disappointment, really. Just opened the cage door and he just decided this case is closed. He was gone. You're going slow for a change.
We're in a forest area, and it wouldn't surprise me if we encounter some heavy traffic.
After releasing the rogue monkey, Chris and Edwin are heading back to the rescue centre.
As we're driving along, Edwin's going quite slow and has this smirk on his face. I know something's up.
Look, there's an elephant here, right next to the village.
All of a sudden, I see exactly why Edwin's on the go slow. A big male elephant up here, just on the side of the road.
Yeah, and you got to realise that this is not one of the elephants at our rescue centre. This is a wild one.
Yeah. I mean, he could pick this car up if he wants to, push it over to the side.
He could do anything he likes. There was another one just behind there in the bushes as well.
Incredible to see them this close when they're wild. I mean, you're used to seeing elephants in zoos and appreciating their size and their majesty, but when he's here and now just turning, just have a look here, that would be a freak out.
There's more there.
Yeah.
Look at him, how he impressive kind of walking and
I guess this is really what it's all about for you though, Edward, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's actually seeing the animals in the wild, and rescuing them is great, but to see them not needing rescuing must be even more special.
Yeah, it is great. It's great to see them in the wild. It's a pity that they're along the road.
In Thailand, Chris and wildlife warrior Edwin Week have encountered a daily problem.
There's a road going right through the forest. It's actually quite a busy road. And people are throwing food out of the cars, feeding the elephants over there. This has changed behavior of the elephants. The elephants are actually waiting for food now, instead of foraging themselves. Look at her, she's in protection mode. The tail up, see the tail being higher up, and then when she looked at us, the ears wide open like that. This kind of roadblock is not easy to be ignored by people, even with a large car. These elephants can stop you, and they can do a lot of damage to your car, your property, or if you're on a motorbike, to you.
Motorcycle riders can just get swiped off their bikes. Only a few weeks ago, a monk was killed when he went out to try to feed one of the elephants. It's dangerous.
You don't know that he might not even want to kill somebody. They don't know their own strength. And, you know, that's one of the problems we face here with these elephants. And they get so close to people so often, they lose respect. Yeah. Thousands of people pass through this road every day, up and down. And that's one of the problems. You see, here, they're starting some kind of fencing to stop the elephants coming out of the jungle. Yeah. But it ain't gonna stop them. Yeah. Without electrical fencing, that ain't gonna work.
The elephant is such a strong symbol of Thailand, yet the reality of the elephant's plight here is anything but strong. There are only 2,200 left in the wild, and those, as we've seen here, are pretty vulnerable.
Every day in Thailand, it's an ongoing struggle to get the right balance between people and animals. Edwin's passion is finding that balance.
I think a very important message is that we should not exploit wildlife.
Come on.
Whether it's for tourism, in a zoo, a circus, wildlife needs to be in the wild.
Yeah.
Do you never go breaking that in half?
I want it to be possible to close down this place, that we're not needed anymore.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's not going to happen. There will always be a need for wildlife rescue centers like ours. Second best would be to grow in size, give the animals more space and a better life than they already got.
The rescue centre here survives entirely on donations. They get food from some of the local farmers in return for care of their animals. But financially, a lot of the donations come from Australia and from other countries all around the world.
In you go, start scrubbing.
What's this?
Get in and you'll find out.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I thought this was the quiet time.
For the elephants, sure, yeah. Volunteers' work is never done.
While the money makes a huge difference, there's nothing that can replace the care, the time, the love shown by the volunteers that work here.
I actually just wanted to see him with his shirt off.
It's always great to have a vet extra, you know? It's like tools. You can't have enough of them. For that, it's been a great week.
Can you feel that?
I really need all the help I can get. Any vet nurse, whatever. We need people to help all these animals.
Oh, you're a good girl.
The first couple of years when I did this work, I would go on a rescue and see an elephant badly treated or see a monkey in a very tiny cage, and I used to get furious with the owners.
There you go.
I realized after a couple of years that that approach doesn't really work. If I want people to support our work, I need to make sure they understand what's wrong and what they've done wrong without making them feel guilty.
That's amazing.
Yes, I still get angry, but I won't show it. I'm determined to help the animal, and I always tell myself and the animal in question that this is the day everything is going to change. Everything that happened is over, and from now on, things are only going to get better.
I really think what being here has taught me is the fact that when you travel to a place like Thailand, you have to do it with open eyes and be aware of what you're seeing. That photo on the street with that amazing animal or that elephant ride, sometimes it comes at a cost, and it's not just financial. Hey, I was just coming to say goodbye, but I think you're about to beat me to it.
Yeah, I'm afraid we gotta go too. There's another rescue coming in.
Okay. Well, mate, I just want to say thank you.
Thanks for coming by.
Thank
you
incredible.
for being here, helping out, and please spread the word.
I will. I'll do that for sure. I mean, look, you've opened my eyes to what you're battling here, but also I think my eyes have been open to the challenges. It's been incredible. So thank you, Noy.
Thank you, thank you for coming and visit us.
I'll see you later.
My baby's still Sam, so.
I tried.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
See you later. Thanks, Chris.
No worries.
Bye.
Go, Zef.
5-month-old Safira is arriving at the Bondi clinic to be desexed.
We want to get her desexed, but we just want to get her checked out because she's actually leaking.
Owners Lorraine, Joe and Maddie are worried their border collie puppy could have a serious problem.
Oh, it's a bit of a concern. We're hoping maybe if she gets desexed it should fix it up.
This way, come on.
It's not that abnormal for dogs to leak urine when they're a little bit excited or when they're old. But for Safira at her age to be doing it on quite a large scale is a bit of a worry.
She might be lying in bed and all of a sudden she'll get up and there's a big wet patch.
But it's like every day, constant. Other than that, perfectly beautiful, normal.
Yeah.
Definitely part of the family, as all the animals are part of the family. I know we shouldn't treat them like children, but they are. My darling.
It's clear that you really do love her. It must be getting hard, though, with all the dripping.
It does, especially when you change the sheets half a dozen times or whatever.
Just watch
but just watching her get upset is enough to put a tear in your eye.
Yeah. So let's take this nappy off. Can I just get you just to hold her up there? Hey, Zef. That's not exactly what I expected.
What's the...
Well, she just doesn't look entirely normal there. I know that Joe and Lorraine are staring at me going, why is he taking so long to speak? But Safi is not your typical female dog. Do you mind if I just take her out the back just for a second?
Is this something we should be worried about?
No, I just want to have a closer look.
Okay.
Yeah. When I look at Safira's belly, honestly, I'm totally confused.
Let's go, beautiful. Let's go in here.
A badly injured beagle has arrived at the Animal Welfare League in Sydney's west.
Good morning. I've just got this really sweet little dog here, which is an injured stray, I'd say. She's got a bad limp on her back left leg.
Alan found the stray limping at a local park.
Yeah, well, she's wandering around quite happily, except that she's carrying her back leg nearly all the time, so I thought she may have some type of injury that needs to be assessed by a veterinarian. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for looking after her.
All right.
Hello, Lisa. How are you going? Can you please come down to our adoptions office? We just had a dog brought in. It needs to be looked at by you, please. OK, thank you. Bye. She's a sweet little girl, aren't she?
Hi, what's happening?
Today, SASH emergency vet Lisa Chimes is volunteering her time at the shelter.
Let's just scan her and see if she's actually chipped. No chip.
No microchip, darling.
Hey, sweetheart. Where's your family? All right, so I'll just take her over to the clinic. We'll have a good look at her and see what's going on with that leg.
OK, great.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Come on.
See you, darling.
I couldn't imagine anything more heartbreaking than losing your pet, but if they're not microchipped and there's no identification on them, there's no way that we can find out who they belong to. So the shelter's taken her over and now we're going to have a look at her leg. Hopefully there's nothing serious going on there, but we have to sort that out first.
Hey, you really are limping.
Neil, a hand here, mate. She's in for desexing, but also she's leaking urine.
Okay.
That's not even why I brought her out.
Back at the Bondi clinic, a routine desexing has turned into a veterinary mystery. Safira is incontinent, an extremely unusual condition for a 5-month-old puppy.
Wow, that's really unusual.
Her vulva is not only in the wrong place, it's further forward than it should be, but it's actually facing the wrong direction. And I reckon where you'd normally see a scrotum on a male dog. She's almost got loose skin there as well. She's got mixed genitalia.
Okay.
So that makes her a hermaphrodite.
No.
Yeah. This is so incredibly rare that I know a lot of vets that have never seen a hermaphrodite in their entire veterinary career. So it's a big day in the clinic.
And hermaphrodite has both male and female organs.
I've probably been here about 15 years and I've never ever seen anything like this before. It's really quite unusual. If she's coming to be desexed, then how do you know which bits to remove?
Well, that's the thing. She may have both internally. I reckon this is why she's having this urine leakage as well. When you realise that Lorraine and Joe have come in to have Safi desexed, aware that she leaks a bit of urine, I'm sure that they never expected that I'm about to walk in there and tell them that their little girl, maybe a boy, maybe a bit of both. It's not going to be easy. So, she's not your typical girl.
In what way?
She has her female parts down there, but she also has some evidence of male parts as well.
Okay.
She looks like she is a hermaphrodite.
Okay.
I just want you to know exactly what you're taking on here, because when people discover that dogs are hermaphrodites and that there is a problem with their plumbing, some people don't want to take that on. And those people often look at putting their dogs down.
No. Not even an option.
Yeah.
Not even an option. Definitely, don't make me cry. No. No. It's not going to happen. We love you. Yes.
As far as conversations go in a vet clinic, that's one of the strangest. But thankfully, Joe and Lorraine absolutely adore this dog and they'll stand by her through anything.
Okay, so where do we go from here?
If you don't mind, what I'd like you to do today is go up and see Andrew at Sash, because that is going to be the key to unlocking why she's leaking urine.
Well, whatever she needs done to her, we'll do. Very scary. So I'm actually wanting to get her there so then we can find out and then take the next step.
We will do everything that we can to get it fixed.
I'm sorry I had to tell them. It's okay. You've forgiven me. All right, well, all the best for today.
Okay.
I'll obviously be waiting for the news. This started off as being a simple desexing, and now they're off to Sash for a scan to tell them whether their dog's a boy or a girl or both, and really how they can fix this leaking bladder and how they can have it desexed. It's all of a sudden got very complicated. Fingers crossed it's all okay.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank
Cheers.
you. See ya.
Okay, see you later.
All right, next step.
At the animal welfare shelter in West Sydney, Lisa is trying to work out what happened to this stray beagle.
What's your name? You're cute as a button, hey? I call you Buttons?
Buttons was brought to the shelter after being found alone and limping at a local park.
It must be so terrifying for Buttons to come to the shelter. She doesn't know anyone. We don't know where she's come from. We don't know anything about what's happened to her. She's limping and we've just got to get her better so that she can find a new home. That does not feel good, Buttons. So I'm having a feel of Buttons' back leg and it just feels really unstable. I'm actually really worried about her pelvis, about her hip. It kind of feels like it's just floating there. We're going to need to get some x-rays and actually see what's going on. Buttons.
Sorry,
Good girl, Buttons.
Good girl.
Stay there. All right, let's see. Oh,
terrible.
She's got a dislocated hip.
Yeah, no wonder she's limping.
The hip is a really stable joint. For that to pop out of place and have that ball come out of that socket, she must have had a high impact injury like hit by a car or something really forceful to push that out of alignment. Quite amazing that Buttons is actually walking around on this leg. Good girl. Look, there is no way we're going to be able to pop that hip joint back into place while she's conscious. It is going to hurt. So we're going to have to give her an anaesthetic so that her muscles relax, so that she doesn't feel any pain. We'll try and pop the hip back in, but if it doesn't work, straight into surgery. This is just not moving at all.
Female.
She's a female. Any question mark?
At SASH, Lorraine, Joe and Maddie have brought in one of Australia's rarest patients for a consultation.
Come on, sweetie.
Come on, Saf.
Hey. Chris has sent Safira here to me today because he's taken one look at her and gone, this ain't right. She's a hermaphrodite. And that in itself is not a problem, but she's leaking urine as well, and that is a problem.
Oh.
There she goes. That's interesting.
Hermaphrodites possess both male and female genitalia. For most vets, it's a once-in-a-career case.
He's a bit odd back there. Her vulva looks like a vulva, but it's trying to migrate forward, so it's trying to be a prepuce and a penis. So she's an in-betweenie, for sure. Most hermaphrodites function absolutely normally, have a normal life. Safira's not one of those. She's leaking urine, and that's linked to this somehow, and we've got to find out how and why.
This morning, Safira's family were expecting their 5-month-old to undergo a routine desexing. Now the Border Collie puppy may be facing life-threatening problems.
I guess we've got to try and find out exactly what that plumbing problem is and what we can do about it. If we leave the incontinence, they do end up miserable because they get skin infections where the urine's leaking out. But worse than that is she might have been born with kidneys that aren't functioning well. If she's got that, I mean, she won't live past 2. That's the scanner that she'll be in later.
Oh, right, okay, yep.
Safira will undergo a CT scan to discover more about her mysterious anatomy.
I'm trying to be calm. Just wait and see what happens, because otherwise our mind's going to get too far ahead and then I'll get too upset.
Look, it is a tough day for Lorraine and Joe. They, thought she was just going to get desexed and, oh, yeah, she's got a little bit of a problem, can we give her a pill? And it suddenly turned into something that's bigger than Ben-Hur.
Oh, good girl.
Safira's CT scan is now underway at SASH.
Gosh, we don't see this very often.
No, we don't.
The initial diagnosis has indicated that being a rare hermaphrodite may be the least of the puppy's problems.
We know she's leaking urine. We don't know why. We don't know what part of her urinary tract is not functioning properly. So we need to do a CT scan using dye that we'll give intravenously. That'll highlight the kidneys and then highlight the bladder and the entire urinary tract. Bladder's just looking a bit weird. See? Yeah. The bladder should be essentially spherical or balloon-shaped, and yet she's got this big bit kicking out here to the right. That's weird.
Even the CT scans are providing more questions than answers.
The fact that she's a hermaphrodite is making this even more difficult to interpret. We're not dealing with male anatomy, we're not dealing with female anatomy, we're sort of dealing with a combination of both. And incontinence cases can be hard enough to diagnose if you've either got a girl or a boy. But when we've got this combination, it's making it really tricky to figure out what we're doing.
The case is so confusing, Andrew has decided to make Safira a global issue.
I think we need a specialist CT radiologist to have a look at it.
The puppy's scans will now be emailed to a team of specialist radiologists in England. The results should be back tomorrow morning.
I'll have to wait to give a final decision or verdict, if you like, to have had that done. Look, the good thing is the kidneys seem to be fine.
Oh, good.
So that's good. But what I can't really figure out is what's happening to the tubes after they come out of the kidneys, where they're going in, and then what's happening after that. I think we need to keep her here overnight. I'm sorry. That I wish I could give you a clear-cut answer, but veterinary medicine is not always like that.
Well, when you hear the specialist say that he's not sure and he's got to send it off to a specialist, then you sort of get a bit...
While the puppy sleeps off her sedation...
She's going to have to stay in here tonight.
Lorraine and Joe must now break the news to their daughter, Casey.
Don't make me cry. You okay?
Hey, sweetie. Hey. Doctor will give us a call first thing in the morning. Look, tomorrow we'll find out. Don't fret. She'll come home a whole new baby.
Joe and Lorraine, they're amazing. They just want the best for her. But whether I can actually fix her problem surgically, I don't know.
This is just not moving at all.
Yeah, you can't get it back in.
I think it's been out for so long that it's all fibrosed over and it's just not going to budge.
At the Animal Welfare League in Sydney's West, Lisa is trying to manipulate Button's dislocated hip into place.
It's not budging. Have a go, see if you can get it in.
Animal Welfare League vet Dr. Laura Brown is working with Lisa to determine the best course of treatment for Buttons.
Yeah, I can't get that to move at all. Feels like it's been out for a while.
All right, surgery it is. Hey, Buttons, sorry, hun. We've had a real good go at trying to put Buttons' hip back in place. It hasn't worked. We've got to take her into surgery. If we don't operate on Buttons, she's going to have chronic hip pain. She's never going to walk normally and she's never going to be a normal dog. Nobody's going to want a dog with a health problem. So we've got to get her better so that she's not in pain and that she can find a forever home.
So, if we can pull that way, and grab it.
So in there you can see the actual ball of the femur. So that ball is out of the socket, and what we're going to do is cut off the head of the femur, so remove that ball, so we're basically eliminating the need for a hip joint. By eliminating the ball and socket joint, what's going to happen is fibrous tissue is going to form between that area, so she basically is not going to need a hip joint anymore. She's not going to have a real hip joint, and that's going to take away the pain. Okay.
It feels really good. It feels better. It feels great.
The worst part of it is over for Buttons. Now she's just got to recover. She's going to be on pain relief for quite a few weeks as well. And we're all going to be working really hard to find her a new home. Oh, dear Buttons.
Looking around, I've got to say, it is like you're in Africa.
Yes, yeah, I grew up in the big game reserves in Africa and this is the best job I reckon I could have. Landscape-wise, there's a lot of it that feels like home and certainly the types of animals you see around you.
Chris is at Werribee Open Range Zoo, just outside Melbourne. He's been called out to help with a very special patient.
You're worried about one of the cheetahs here?
Coyote has not been eating as he usually does. We hope that an examination will reveal if there is anything wrong, and with your help maybe we can get there and figure that out today. We heard that cheetahs are one of Chris's favourite animals, and I thought, why not give him a call so he can come and help out with the whole process. So we've got Inkasana on the left.
Yep.
He's got a white patch on his tail, and Coyote on the right over here.
Brothers Inkasana and Coyote have been residents at the zoo for more than 7 years.
So what's got you so worried?
Well, I've just noticed with Coyote, he hasn't been eating as he normally does. They normally have relatively small meals. They don't sort of go for days without food, like lions, for instance, eat a big meal and then maybe go for a few days without. These guys tend to eat most days. Not eating is unusual for him, you know. Not happy. I'm just not sure. I'm not at ease with the way things are. He's so consistent with taking his food. It's very seldom that he doesn't.
If any cat has a weakness, it's going to be their kidneys, isn't it? And with these guys, as they're getting on, the kidneys are going to become more and more of an issue.
Kidney problems are common amongst both big and domestic cats, especially as they get older. one of the biggest killers is renal failure. This happens when the kidneys are no longer able to remove waste products from the blood.
I guess what worries me is the fact that we're still talking about wild animals here, and for them to show any signs of illness, to give away any sort of sense of weakness is a big deal.
Yeah, and they wouldn't normally show it. I mean, that's exactly what I think, but hit the nail on the head.
These cheetahs are not just important to this zoo, they're important really to the whole world of animal conservation. Cheetahs are threatened, and so to have these two here is very important. We have to keep them healthy.
I love them to bits. You know, it's a real honour working with these animals, so we've got to look after them. They're in our care, and we've got to do the best we can to look after these magnificent things.
I guess my biggest worry is that we find something today that just can't be fixed. If it was to be kidney failure, or worse still, a cancer that can't be operated on, then it'd be pretty devastating for all the team here.
Please find attached the report for Safira. This is a complicated case. There you go, Sherlock.
Next morning, surgeon Andrew Marchevsky arrives at SASH to find a response from the specialist team in England about his rare hermaphrodite patient, Safira.
They couldn't find where the left ureter went either.
Overnight, the radiologists have studied Safira's scans, but have they come up with an answer as to why the 5-month-old puppy is constantly leaking urine?
They're going to get a second opinion as well. It makes me feel a little bit less stupid. This will be, I'm sure, a little disappointing for Lorraine and Joe, because I think, you know, they were expecting CT, there's the answer, surgery today, all fixed, but it's just not going to be that way. To be honest, I mean, they've given us some results, but at the end of it, they said, we need a second opinion as well. Now we're getting a third opinion. It's probably a little more complex than I was hoping.
A lot more complex than what Lorraine and Joe could ever have imagined. Andrew is hoping diagrams may help them understand this bewildering medical condition.
This is a female dog, so what happens is the urethra comes up, empties into the floor of the vagina, and then empties out through there. Normal male anatomy is bladder, round the pubis, out here, and it comes out through the penis. What she's got is, I think, a mixture of the two. We know that we've got one ureter coming in here, we've got another one, we're not sure where it goes. But she's got this other opening that's going up into a little blind pocket, like a sac, that's filling up with urine, and then it's sitting there, and then eventually, when it gets too full, it leaks out. So I think that's where the leakings come from, I think.
Okay.
It's hard enough trying to explain this to your colleague, but trying to explain it to a couple of owners who all they want to do is get their female dog desexed. Hopefully they're following it all, because I know it's hard.
What would happen if we didn't do any of this? If we just took her home and put nappies on her?
I'm concerned that she'll get low-grade urinary tract infections, especially if we've got urine pooling in here.
Yeah.
You know? If we leave it as it is, I'm worried she'll get chronic infections in her bladder, which will lead to chronic kidney infections, and that can be fatal. So we just need to stop that happening. So, as I said, we'll do some more tests and we'll see what an answer we get from there. Come on, Safira. Go and do it all again, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, it'll be different this time.
Chris, come and meet our senior veterinarian, Nat Rourke. Nat, this is Chris.
Hey Nat, how you going?
Good, Chris. How are you?
Good, big day, huh?
Welcome. Yeah, big day for Coyote, big day for us.
Chris has been enlisted to help out the team at Werribee Open Range Zoo. 10-year-old cheetah Coyote has stopped eating and needs to be examined to make sure he isn't seriously ill.
They start getting kidney failure as they get older, and so, yeah, I'd like to have it checked out. Take them both through. Close it down now. Thank you.
Okay, got both.
Fantastic.
All right, so what's the plan here now?
We need to get the brother we're not working on, Inkasana, he needs to be out on display. Coyote will want to go back to him, and at that point we're going to close him into the slide. I'll operate those slides. I'll get you to do this lot, and then we'll meet up with the rest of the team once we've got the diet in place.
The whole point of separating them is so we can actually draft off Coyote into this holding pen, and from there he can be darted.
Come on, just lift that slide, but don't let Coyote through. Inky, come. See how quickly he goes? He knows what's out there, so...
And he's already grabbed that food there now.
He's got it now. Have a look at that.
For Coyote and Inkasana, you can really sense they get strength and they feel safety in numbers. But the moment one's missing, they freak out.
We're going to let him through now. Good boy.
I'll give that to you.
Come on.
The team has to work fast. Coyote needs to be lured into the crush so that he can be darted.
Come on, buddy. So, the pacing and the obvious awareness that something's going on, it doesn't make this easy.
Please. Good boy. Boy, Katie. This is where he knows something's up.
Each time he tries to go through, doors are shutting in front and behind him. He's starting to panic.
Good boy, Katie. It's
Go on,
okay.
sweetie.
There we go. Yeah.
Well done. Thanks, Nat.
We finally got him in the chute. It's time to dart him. This has to happen quickly.
Good boy, Katie.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
So we've got most of it in there. You can see that the needle's gone about, 3/4 of the way in, so we're thinking that most of that drug should be in.
We can expect anything when an animal goes under anaesthetic, but I'm hoping he'll be okay.
Easy, boy. Easy, buddy. Just settle down, buddy. Come on.
I guess if there's one thing that worries me about this whole thing, it's the fact that the stress of being darted could result in him flipping out. If he does that, he could break his leg, injure himself in a really bad way, and that would be absolutely catastrophic.
Come on, Manny. Just let go.
Right now, what we're waiting for is for Coyote really to relax, to let those drugs take effect and hopefully lie down.
He's almost there, isn't he?
Yeah. I'm pretty happy with that.
Yep, happy with that.
Can we just make sure that outside gate is closed, just in case he does wake up?
It's now a race against time to get Coyote to the vet hospital. Every minute under anaesthetic greatly increases the risk to the cheetah.
Yeah, a little bit anxious. Hopefully he's going to turn out okay, but anything can go wrong when you've got animals under anaesthetic.
Ready to go? What we're looking for are any reasons why he's suddenly lost his appetite. It could be kidney problems, could be stomach ulcers, or it could be something even more serious. Are you right if I take this blood down? Yeah.
The results of Coyote's blood work should be back within 30 minutes. They will reveal if the cheetah is suffering any kidney problems. The specialist team also need to perform a full physical.
We're checking out his joints, but at the moment he's also getting a scope. Now we're going down the esophagus now.
Veterinary specialist Dr. Darren Merritt is performing a gastroscopy to see if there are any internal abnormalities which may be causing Coyote's loss of appetite.
What we're scanning for are any red or I guess irritated or eroded areas that could indicate an ulcer. I'm watching Darren put the scope down through Coyote's esophagus, no problems there, then it hits the stomach, and there's something very abnormal.
What's that there?
Where are you, Safi? We've just got the second lot of results back, and they're about as helpful as the first lot.
5-month-old hermaphrodite puppy Safira is proving to be one of Andrew Marchevsky's most baffling cases.
You're a bit of an enigma, aren't you? Enigma wrapped in a puzzle.
Despite a battery of tests and 2 sets of CT scans sent overseas for specialist analysis, what's causing the Border Collie puppy's incontinence is still a frustrating mystery.
Lorraine and Joe have agreed that we've just got to take her to surgery now and find out exactly what's going on and get her fixed. Come on, let's go. I can't do any more tests, none that'll help us. And at some point, you just got to draw a line in the sand and say, right, let's get in there. Hey, sweet, you're a problem. There are people all over the world scratching their heads and squabbling. Come on then, we'll get you sorted. And if we can't fix her today, she'll end up with chronic incontinence, chronic infections. She'll be miserable. There'll be just discomfort all the time, and she could get really sick. So we really need to get it sorted today to give her a good life. Here we go.
The pressure on Andrew is enormous.
I've never seen anything like this, no.
This is a career first for one of Australia's most experienced and respected veterinary surgeons.
Hermaphrodites are really rare. Hermaphrodites with major plumbing problems are even rarer. So if I see another case like this in my career, I'd be lucky. Where we need to get at stuck right underneath her pubic bone, and I just cannot get to that area. The only way I'm going to be able to get to that is if I split her pelvis open. All right, well, I think we're going to have to do this. It's not what I wanted to do because it's turned it into a bigger surgery and more painful one for her. But if we don't do it, we won't fix it.
With clear access to Safira's abdomen, Andrew can now see a small hole in the puppy's urethra.
It's just starting to see where the urine's been pooling. So basically what I've done now is I've actually tied off the join between the uterus and the urethra. So it can't pool anymore. So that's her uterus, testicles and the start of her penis. It's all a bit confusing, really. We basically got rid of what I think is causing the problem and then desexed her along the way. That is that.
It's taken more than 4 hours, but Safira's groundbreaking surgery is now over.
It went really well. It was really challenging. But the only way we'll know if we've been successful is she stops leaking urine. So it's going to take us a little while before we know whether we've been a success or not.
Finally, Joe and Lorraine are allowed in to see their little girl.
Princess. Baby. How adorable does she look?
I really don't think you can use the word she, because she literally was half and half.
She's still our little girl. She'll still be treated the same and loved the same.
I mean, they've shown amazing dedication and amazing patience to get us to this point, because it hasn't been simple, and hopefully we've got it fixed.
What's that there? So we've got bones there? I think so.
As Coyote's gastroscopy continues at Werribee Open Range Zoo, the team makes a shock discovery.
Is that hair there?
When Chris says there's fur down his throat, that can't be right. He was supposed to have had nil by mouth last night because he's having a medical examination today, so generally we don't want him to be eating anything. Bit of a mystery going on.
Those bones there, so that, what do you think that is?
Rabbit.
That could be rabbit in there.
Yeah, ex-rabbit.
A bit concerned.
I'm just thinking perhaps some of our concerns were that he's not eating enough, but perhaps he's supplementing his diet adequately.
Do you think there's quite a big chance he's actually getting his own food, feasting on the wild rabbits that are getting into his enclosure?
Yeah, they've been known to catch bunnies on exhibit, but maybe that's what he's done.
It's one of those beautiful moments where all the pieces of the puzzle suddenly fall into place. Rather than being off his food due to illness, he's off his food because he's already eaten rabbits.
I've just got the bottom back. Oh, here we go.
Kidneys is normal.
Yep.
So all in all, it's a pretty good result considering his age, and what we have learned is what he gets up to after dark.
Well, that's a relief, and it's nice to know that what we've done has been worth it.
Now away we go.
Considering what we could have been facing here, there's a lot of relief in the room, but everyone won't be truly relaxed until we're getting back to his brother.
Okay, looking good.
At Werribee Open Range Zoo, Coyote has woken from his anaesthetic and is now ready to be reunited with his brother Inkasana.
He's just out through that gap. He's been crying for him. He's going to be so pleased to see his brother back.
When you see him skip out of his crate and he lays eyes on his brother, you see him just almost melt. This bond, this bromance the two of them have, it's something that melts your heart.
I'm very happy. It's been a great outcome. Yeah, so very relieved.
Considering we started the day being concerned about stomach ulcers or kidney failure,
I didn't think the little rabbit would be responsible for all the drama today. Oh, well. Good outcome, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for joining us.
You guys are champions.
This is really good.
My pleasure.
Where are you, Saf?
Settle, pedal. Settle, settle. Ain't no good. You're a good dog. You're very clever. Have you got a dry bed? That's a dry bed. Yes, it is. You're a very clever dog.
As for our hermaphrodite, it's been 5 days since Safira's operation to stop her incontinence, and it appears to have worked.
We've been keeping a really close eye over her the last couple of days, and the great news is she's got a dry bed, so she doesn't have pools of urine leaking while she's asleep anymore, and she's fixed. Thank you for the kiss. Oh, thank you for the kiss. I think I have to get you home now. That was a goodbye kiss.
It's been an emotional journey for Joe and Lorraine, but it's been particularly hard on their daughter Casey, who hasn't seen her baby girl for more than a week.
She's all good now.
Who's that? Yahoo! Look out! Yahoo!
It's been a crazy story. I literally did lose sleep thinking, once I got in there, was I going to be able to fix it? Because I didn't know. But to see her at the end of that fixed and jumping around like she's normal, it's really satisfying.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for looking after her, all the staff, for looking after her the way they did.
It has been a pleasure.
And especially you for...
And it was a good result. I'm not sure I want another patient like Safira for a little while, because my brain can only handle so much.
Look at her boy.
You're a good girl.
As for Buttons, the injured stray, she spent 4 months rehabilitating after Lisa and the animal welfare team operated on her dislocated hip. Now fully recovered, she's found a new home with a loving family.
We were looking for another dog to be a companion to our current dog, and we happened to see her online and she was uber cute. She's recovered really well. She's not showing that she's soft on one leg or anything like that. Now she's starting to find a voice. She's starting to be a little bit more vocal. When we first got her, she just would curl up by the front door and that was it. Now she's demanding couches and love and all those other things as well.
Oh, little boy.
And a few months later, the big news that everyone has been waiting for. Lisa and Brad's much-anticipated baby has finally arrived.
So I've got a new little addition to our family, but this time he hasn't got any fur. His name is Hudson Gus, and he's just gorgeous. That's a good smile. Nelson and Lucas have been the number ones in my life for so long, and I've been worried that bringing Hudson home would make them feel like they were out of place or cause a bit of jealousy, but the minute we came home from the hospital with Hudson, Nelson and Lucas were totally besotted with him. They just love him like he's their little brother.
Lukey, I think he's a little bit too young to play. He'll play soon, okay?
When I look at his little face and I see his little hands and his little eyes and then he gives me a little smile, there is this overwhelming sense of love that I actually can't even describe, that I never ever thought that I could experience something quite like this. Yes, a smile for your brothers. Big smiles. Here they come. Here it comes.
I'm about to head to northern Kenya on a journey that I have been planning for a long time. Now, I've been to Africa before, but where I'm going to, the tourists are rare and the fight to save rare and endangered wildlife, it's a daily battle. The amazing woman I'm travelling with works here at the Werribee Open Range Zoo, and I'm about to meet her for the first time.
Chris's Kenyan Odyssey is beginning. He's meeting zookeeper Brooke Squires, a woman on a crusade to save Africa's endangered animals.
Hi. Lily. Lee. Come on. Good boy.
He's just a mass, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's just a truck covered in skin, isn't he?
Rhinos, people don't expect them to just be so incredible. They're big animals, they're incredibly powerful, but look at them, they're like giant puppy dogs. Isn't he great?
This does get in the way of feeding,
yeah,
though, doesn't
it does. I mean, but he's got one of the biggest horns in captivity, like out of all rhinos around the world. You're right up there with the big horn, boys.
Rhinos in Africa are killed for horns like this, with poachers getting up to $250,000 on the black market. That's why Brooke has taken up the fight to help save them.
When you see rhinos in Africa and you realise how hardcore it is and they're surviving from day to day, you know, but it's like that with all the wildlife over there. Now, if we can't do something about that, then what's the point of us being here as a zoo? We need to be out there working with the animals and people on the ground, not just being here in our safe, cushy little zoos back in Melbourne.
Tomorrow, Brooke and Chris head off to one of the most dangerous and remote parts of Africa, northern Kenya.
What do you think, as a vet, I'm going to need to take over there?
Courage.
Courage? I was thinking more, you know, equipment, instruments, drugs.
No, all of that. I mean, just, do you know what? You have to come prepared for anything. East Africa, Kenya, we're going to hit the real stuff.
You serious?
Oh, serious. It's wild, it's intense. Animals aren't in fenced areas, they're in people's backyards.
Have you had any close calls over there?
Yeah, I've had one or two that have made me double think, you know, working in northern Kenya. We've had the vehicle shot at.
Really?
And that makes you think twice.
Before I came here today to talk to Brooke, I thought I knew Africa, but after hearing those stories and knowing what she faces over there, with this trip, I have no idea what to expect.
Chris and Brooke have arrived in the teeming Kenyan capital, Nairobi. They're heading nearly 300 kilometres north of here to a major conservation area called Lewa.
This is kind of the first part of our journey.
Wow, that's incredibly close.
It's just such an untouched part of Kenya, but the animals are really wild. They're not kept in fenced areas. You know, they're the real deal. This is their landscape, this is their space, this is their home.
What's over here? What have we got there?
Well, it's the two females and two cubs.
Oh, beautiful. So the mum's out in front and the cubs are following behind.
Yeah, absolutely. So Mum will always lead the way because she's just making sure there's nothing really devastating, nothing that can hurt them, so she'll always go first. Whenever I come back to northern Kenya and I realise the work that we're doing through Zoos Victoria and the community, really helping northern Kenya to survive, it's so poignant. It makes me feel amazing, but it brings me back down to earth as well. It's a really incredible place. I think one of the things I'm really proud of that Zoos Victoria has done is really stepped away from just doing pure conservation in terms of just looking after animals, and that's it, and saying, you know what, if we don't work with people, we can't save the wildlife.
Two of the biggest issues facing conservationists in Kenya are poaching and farmers competing with wild animals for land and water.
If there's a herd of zebra or oryx grazing or drinking from a well, they won't necessarily kill them, but they will chase them off, and those animals start to suffer, you know, because they don't get to those natural resources. So it becomes human-wildlife conflict. Yeah. You want to grab that for me? Thanks.
Hello, Chris speaking. Yeah, I'll just put her on, she's just driving. Hang on.
Hello, Brooke speaking. Okay, well, that's a bit crap. Boy or girl? And how old? Oh yeah, 3 months, all right.
Brooke has just learned a baby rhino has been found and has been taken to the safety of the Wildlife Conservancy. Its mother was killed by poachers.
Hello. Yeah, hi, it's Chris Brown here. I'm here with Brooke. We've just gone through the Matunda Gate and we're on our way now.
The little rescue rhino needs urgent medical attention.
Oh, look at them.
Sensational, hey?
Incredible.
Amazing, hey?
Oh.
Have you ever seen anything like this before?
No. Wow. Oh, and that's the little one there.
Yeah, it is, yeah, at the back. That's the 3-month-old.
Staff have put the traumatised baby in with another orphan rhino.
Hey, little one. Hey. You had a tough time, haven't you? Don't be spooked. You are the most incredible thing I've ever seen.
Good boy. Good boy.
You are just a little baby, aren't you?
He's a lucky baby, hey? And they're so reliant on their mothers, hey? For about the first 2 years of life. That's why it's so tragic when we lose one.
He is the epitome of cute, but his life so far is far from it. His mother was killed, poached for her horn, which would sell for up to $250,000 on the black market.
Would he have gone through quite a lot of emotional stress over seeing his mother
Yeah,
killed?
it's not so much seeing the mother killed, it's just all of a sudden they're so dependent on their mothers and their milk is very specific. Oh, wait. And so when they lose their mothers to something sudden like poaching, it's really traumatic for them, physiologically especially, because that support she gives and that milk is so, so important. If you don't find these guys really quickly, you know, they get taken by predators and...
Yeah.
So he was incredibly lucky.
Do you know what the story is with his kind of big brother here?
Oh, Nicky actually has cataracts, so technically he's blind. He's 6 months old, and they just don't do so well, especially when they're babies and they're blind. You really need to pull them and hand rear them. His story's a bit happier. He's not a victim of poaching like this one, you know.
They're a funny team, aren't they? It's sad that they've had to come together, but together they're stronger, aren't
Yeah, they are, absolutely. And they'll spend their whole lives together, you know. These two will know each other for the next 45 years. Looking all right?
Yeah, big thing is his hydration.
The stress of being orphaned will show itself in a number of ways. Brooks asked me to have a look at him to see how he's coping with life without his mother.
It's a tiny little eye. I know it doesn't do a lot for them. Their ears and their nose are the most important things.
That's right.
It just says so much, doesn't it? It's a sad little eye. It's not like his spine's sticking out.
Okay.
Through the skin here. He's actually carrying a bit of fat across his shoulders and across his back here and across his ribs. There's no sign of any diarrhoea there, no?
Now the hope is that at least some good can come out of this awful situation and this little guy can pull through.
Looking all right?
Yeah. Big thing is his hydration. He seems quite well hydrated. His saliva's nice and wet and he's not tacky or dry in there.
Oh, he's ready to get up, I think. Well, he's energetic, that's for sure.
Hey, there's one thing I just want to check with you. Come on. His heart rate's actually quite slow. It's only about 40, I'd say.
Yeah, right, okay. Rhinos have a notoriously slow heart rate anyway. They're quite calm sort of animals, so that sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah.
He's been checked as best he can be, and it's such an immediate sense of relief when you see that an animal's healthy and they're happy. He's still got a really good future here at Lewa. He'll be okay.
Wow. The big guns just arrived. I just became incredibly irrelevant.
Caring for orphan rhinos is a full-time job. The new arrival will have to be fed every 3 hours.
Substituting his mother's milk for bottled milk really makes sure that the fluid he's getting is enough to keep this little guy going.
You are a guts, aren't you? Are you done? What's that, 2 litres? Did you even breathe then?
It's gone.
Pretty amazing, aren't they?
Oh.
Hey? We've actually got a calf at Werribee at the moment, a white rhino calf that's being hand-reared. You know, same sort of techniques, but future's so different. These guys are going to have much more challenges compared to our little southern white at Werribee.
Yeah, you're finding a way to cope, aren't you? Got stuck on the bottle now, do you? And the whole thing? They're my fingers.
They've decided to call him Hope because in such sad situations like this, you got to have some. He may not have a mother, but in Nicky, he kind of has a bigger brother.
You know you're in the way now. Huh? You've had it tough, haven't you?
Essentially what we have here are 2 sad stories, Nicky and Hope, yet together, combined, they give each other company and hopefully 2 happy stories.
No, I think they're marching off to a pretty bright future, you know.
Yeah. Marching.
Stomping.
With that appetite, they'll be fine.
I'll be fine.
Heading deeper into the Lewa Conservancy, Brooke and Chris are now on their way to see firsthand how Kenya is tackling dangerous poachers.
Jeez, they're ready for us.
Yeah, these guys are always ready.
Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, good. My name is Philip.
Hey, Philip, I'm Chris.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome back to
Thank you. It's quite a welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Notice these guys on the way in.
Yeah. We just come closer to them because they're nice
boys.
Good boys.
They're not here just for decoration, are they? When you think about a dog unit that takes on poachers, you think ferocious dogs. The first dog I meet doesn't quite live up to that.
I think. Have you experienced this before and are you enjoying that just a little bit? Huh? Yeah. Oh, thank you. That's very kind. Is that my payment? And what do you use these guys for?
Yeah, we use them to track poachers and they are very good on that.
These elite bloodhounds are integral to Kenya's war against poachers. Philip is making the most of having a vet on site and wants Chris to check out his top dog.
So who's this?
This is Tash.
Tash?
She's now 9 years old.
Okay.
It's great to have Chris with us because he's got an amazing expertise and background in veterinary care. And veterinary care in northern Kenya is virtually zero. So to have his skills and expertise is really valuable.
He's got a great heartbeat. Yeah, big and strong.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
She's so nice to us. We don't want to lose her at all, yeah.
For a dog who has worked so hard, Tash is certainly showing some signs of her 9 years. Her joints are a little bit thickened. She's just greying up a little bit, but overall, she's in pretty good shape. She's done a lot of running on these legs.
Yeah.
I can feel it.
A lot of weather, so wet, dry.
The great thing about the dogs, they can track at night time. So once upon a time, the poachers would have had hours to get away because no one could track them until the next day. These guys, doesn't matter.
You see that these big hairs, they used to preserve that scent for long.
So they dangle in the area where the scent is coming from, on the ground?
Yeah, you know.
It's like a sponge?
Yeah. And then we put on the nose here, and then afterwards, they use also these big ears to preserve that scent for long.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Chris is about to find out just how good Tash is at finding a predator.
You can be a poacher and then she will come and identify you.
I can be a poacher.
You can be a poacher, but we don't know where you are. We can only give her your scent.
Sounds like fun,
and then she'll go and find you wherever you are.
So here's how it works. Apparently Tash has put away into her run. Well, I get 5 minutes to run. All right.
Good luck, Chris.
Let's go, boys. Okay. May never see you again. I'm good at this.
You can hide anywhere you like out here in the grass, in the bush, it doesn't matter. That dog is still going to be hot on his trail. I've no doubt she's going to find him quick.
We're trying to find a really hidden spot here. Which way? Straight ahead? Yeah. Straight through? Oh, wow, okay.
The guards went out with Chris because basically this is a wildlife area. It's dangerous. There are lion, there are leopard here. We want to make sure Chris doesn't get eaten while he's trying to be tracked by the dogs.
Jackson, let's go.
If it takes a dog 10 minutes to find Chris, then Chris, I reckon's won the game, but it's not going to happen. I have confidence in Tash, she's going to get him.
I'm innocent. I didn't do it.
Surrender!
It's taken Tash just 4 minutes and 39 seconds to find Chris.
That is amazing. I mean, I washed my feet down with water.
Yeah.
And then I covered them in manure.
No kidding.
I got to say,
great.
very impressive.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Well done, Jackson.
Thanks, great.
Good dog there.
Yeah.
Well done, Tash. Good. You got me.
It's day 2 of Chris and Brooke's journey through the heart of Kenya, visiting wildlife conservancies. Overnight, one of the locals has wandered into the Lewa campsite looking for food.
Oh my God.
This is an extraordinary encounter.
What are you doing here?
It's also a stark reminder of how land for wildlife is rapidly diminishing in Kenya.
It's okay. It's okay then. Thank you.
With the sun barely up, the anti-poaching team is on the move. A rhino is missing in the conservancy, and that could mean a poacher is on the loose.
These rhinos are watched over 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But now, there's increasing concern about black rhino, the most endangered of the African species. Hasn't been seen for a few days. It's quite hard because, to the untrained eye, a lot of the scrub, a lot of those shrubs
if you look like Rhino. The last poaching incident in this area was a month ago. They came across 4 guys trying to kill a rhino. They opened fire, they returned fire, as 4 guys were killed. So I think they found some droppings just up here, and maybe rhino. We think we found a clue. Rhino dung. Is here? How do you tell them apart? How do you know this is white, not black?
The black rhinos are browsers. They feed on branches.
So this is from a grass eater, so this is from a white...
the grass.
This dung is saying that it's from a white rhino. What we're after is a black, so unfortunately, it's not the one we're looking for.
Brooke's now caught up with the convoy, and Chris jumps on board as the search intensifies.
Every rhino's got a very particular set of identification, so whether it's the shape of the ears, the shape of the horn, if it's a male, then it's got its territory. So they always have a general idea of who belongs where, and then there are very specific things that allow them to identify that as an individual.
See, they're pointing out this way now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I can see it.
Cool.
Just through there, a couple hundred metres away.
Nice one, Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Sorry, a bit bumpy, guys. Hang on. That is a very alert rhino, hey?
Yeah, so he's really looking at us now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sizing up the threat we pose to his territory.
Hiya.
Joseph, is that the black?
Yeah, there's a black, yeah.
Do you know that's the one?
I mean, that we're looking for.
Yeah. No?
It's not the missing rhino. This one is known to the guards. Despite its nickname Lucky, it's extremely aggressive. Everyone needs to move away.
How come I find the biggest holes in freaking Lewa?
We're now stuck
It's only a hole.
in a field about 100 metres away from the most aggressive rhino in Kenya.
The team is in real danger. With the car stuck fast in a warthog hole, the rhino could charge at any minute.
Someone say Lucky?
Capable of a top speed of 50 kilometres an hour, Lucky could reach them in seconds.
This rhino has actually charged cars before, dug its horn in and rolled them over.
Everyone needs to act fast before Lucky makes a move.
Hey! Woo! Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going.
Good job.
Finally, danger averted, and Lucky loses interest as the search continues for the missing rhino. It's not long before they're in luck.
Oh, there's a whole bunch of them.
So instead of finding one, we found 3.
The trifecta.
What started out as a possible poacher attack now has a happy ending.
Just gorgeous.
The rhino wasn't lost, he was in love.
So the reason that he's gone missing is because...
He's been following her because she's in season or something like that, absolutely. If the bull thinks that that cow is wanting to mate anytime soon, then he will follow her to the ends of the earth.
7 tons of love.
Yeah, that's a whole lot of love.
With the missing rhino now accounted for, Brooke and Chris are beginning the most dangerous part of their journey. They're heading north into the Malacca region.
So that was Kenya's version of civilization.
Yeah.
We're about to leave behind.
Yeah, definitely. We're about to hit frontier country.
Brooke is taking Chris to see where she does most of her work with local communities.
These are some of the most amazing women in northern Kenya, and I really want you to meet them.
Hello there. Ah, hello. How are you? It's beautiful. Hi, more people. Hello. How are you?
These women are key partners in a Zoos Victoria project called Beads for Wildlife.
The beautiful part of the program is that the women are no longer relying on livestock as much for income. So they don't need to have 100,000 sheep, 100,000 goats. Now they just need a few, and that means that Grevy's zebra have more opportunity to survive.
The Grevy zebra is one of northern Kenya's most endangered animals. With less competition from livestock for food and water, the zebra have now been given another chance.
So because of something as simple as this, I mean, that's saving a zebra. It's crazy, hey? That's saving a zebra.
It's incredible.
Yeah. I love the beading women in Malacca because they are so energetic and so passionate. the reason why they love doing their beadwork is part of their culture, but it's also saving wildlife.
Is that heavy? Does it feel heavy?
Yeah.
No.
They weigh about 7 or 8 kilos, and none of these women are allowed to leave the house without their beadwork.
Amazing.
We might employ you in the Bead to Wildlife program, I think. You're so good.
Really?
Almost.
This is like the scene from Ghost, only slightly different. So how much money have they raised?
In the last 3 years, just on $400,000 has come back into the communities, which is massive. And the nice thing about it, it's not donor stuff. This is business.
Yeah.
These are our business partners, and this is what makes them such incredible women. And we respect each other because they are our business partners. And what's really great is that the women are able to earn income through something that is part of their culture. And so some of the money gets used in buying food, keeping their kids in school, which is a huge deal up here, and just making sure that families have a future. That's what it's about. It's having a future.
In the dangerous Malacca region of northern Kenya, there's an early morning emergency.
Alfred, how you going?
This is Makalan and this is Amos.
Hey, how are you?
And we have to go to hurry because something happened downstream.
Yeah.
Head of Malacco security Alfred and his team are on the hunt for poachers spotted near the camp.
How do you tell the poachers from the people that are just here to move cattle through?
So the community who lives here put shoes made of tire.
Yep.
So, but the poachers put on those boots like this ones of mine, so that they'll be able to walk in the bush.
So it's all about the shoes?
Yes.
Okay.
So we can differentiate them.
Okay. The first thing that grabs me about these scouts is their tracking skills. I'm seeing animal footprints, whereas they're seeing specific animal species. They know the direction they're moving and what they're up to. Also, they're seeing human footprints. And the human footprints are what's really telling the story.
Be careful. Be careful. Be careful.
What have we got?
Fine. These people are around. You should be careful. Down.
Apparently, they're worried about this fire here. Indicates that people have been around here and just recently, because you can see there's some green stuff ready to go on the fire.
Come over here.
A bit closer. Just hidden behind here. No idea where Alfred's gone. He's been gone for quite a while now, probably 2 or 3 minutes. Yeah? Stay there. You want to go? Probably just get down. They're chasing someone. There's a shot there. He's got no idea what's going on out there. He's still here, Alfred. Which is a good thing. You're shot and yelling. It's not exactly what you want to hear. I guess we just stay here.
It's been more than 10 minutes since Chris has seen the guards.
Here it comes now. What is it?
I just fired at them, but they ran away.
There's a
very fast. Yeah, they're just going over the bushes.
The security team needs reinforcements to continue the hunt for the poachers.
God. My heart is racing, yet Alfred, all of a sudden, is laughing. He doesn't realise that where I'm from, guns don't go off that often. That was scary.
Are you scared?
You probably see it every day, but when you hear yelling at a shot, it's a bit different, you know?
Yeah.
That afternoon, local herdsmen send out an SOS. Chris finds himself on call. This man's goat has been attacked by a hyena.
Can you explain that I'm a veterinarian from Australia, so he knows what I'm doing?
It's a big herd, but every single goat is important.
When I first see the goat that he's worried about, I can see why there's been some concern. The goat has a pretty serious injury.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, it's nasty.
So the hyena actually grabbed this goat and dragged it out of the boma?
Yes.
From what this herdsman can tell us, it sounds like the hyena has actually jumped over the fence, grabbed the goat, pulled it out, and then tried to essentially rip its face apart. This is a problem here because what we have is a very important part of the goat with the nose and the mouth. The hyena will have a lot of bacteria in its mouth, but also the goat has a lot of bacteria around here that can cause an infection.
Chris needs to act fast to try and stop infection spreading before it kills the goat.
What I want to do first is clean this area, get rid of all the dead bits of skin, so it'll look like I'm making the wound bigger, but there's a reason why I'm doing it. Even though this goat has been able to escape from this hyena, the injuries it's been left with are quite severe. It has a fracture in the roof of its mouth, plus now it has quite a nasty infection. Ooh, bad smell.
The stench indicates just how quickly the wound has deteriorated.
Does the goat have a name?
Pussy. Pussy.
Pussy. Pussy?
Yeah.
The goat is called Pussy?
Pussy. Pussy, it's something.
Ready? So Pussy. Hey Pussy, it's okay. And these are office scissors, usually used to cut paper, and they're being asked to perform surgery now. This looks a little bit strange, but there's no chance this will heal unless the skin is actually healthy and has a blood supply. So I'm scraping it back, trying to get down to the healthy tissue. So when I bring healthy tissue in against healthy tissue, it will actually heal.
Chris needs to stitch the wound, but with limited equipment in such a remote area, it's going to be a challenge.
If Pussy was in the vet clinic, I'd pull out a perfectly sterilised surgical kit and grab needle holders. Here, I don't have that. Pussy already has a nasty wound and a nasty infection. Without treatment, in this heat, with this amount of flies around, she wouldn't last more than a few days. Hey Pussy, it's okay. This type of infection needs antibiotics, there's no question about that, but the only antibiotics I have in my kit are for dogs and cats, which are not going to be suitable for Pussy. Have you got your malaria medication in the car? Can you go and grab it?
Yeah, sure.
Human malaria tablets from the crew's personal medical kit could now save the goat.
These tablets are normally given orally to treat malaria, basically. But if you grind them up into a powder and mix it with water, there's no reason why we can't flush that into that wound and kill all the bacteria that are sitting in there and really give this goat the best chance of kicking this infection. We need to make sure this gets everywhere.
Once Chris has thoroughly drenched the wound, he can close it up.
Okay, now we'd try for a stitch. Okay. If Pussy was in the vet clinic, I'd pull out a perfectly sterilised surgical kit and grab needle holders. Here, I don't have that. This is just all that improvisation. We're having to use whatever we can find. This is what I'm going to use to put the stitches in. A pair of pliers. Okay, Pussy's going to have to be very brave. With no local anaesthetic, I'm having to ask a fair bit of this goat. I'm going to have to stitch close that massive wound. I keep on being surprised at how calm Pussy is being to what I'm asking of her, but you've got to remember, life's tough out here. They have to be really hardy and put up with a lot just to survive. One more stitch, okay? We don't want to close up the whole thing. Okay. For the air to be flowing in is a good thing. Okay.
After closing the wound, Chris wants to give the goat one final medication.
All right, I think we're done. As an extra boost to Pussy's immune system, I'm going to give her a worm treatment. That way, all her reserves, all her energy can be directed into healing this wound rather than having to worry about parasites. That will help Pussy get through the next few weeks. Pussy does not need any more stress. Can you tell him that Pussy is no pussy? Pussy is a tough goat.
Pussy is not bad.
Pussy's good. Pussy's good. Yeah, Pussy should be okay. Yes. I'm very impressed. Yeah. Very good goat. Yeah. Okay, you look after Pussy. Yeah. If I wasn't already relieved enough that my hardware pliers and my anti-malaria tablets had hopefully made a difference here, it turns out Pussy's a mother. This treatment could have saved 2 lives.
It's been a marathon surgery under difficult conditions, and the herdsman wants to thank Chris with a local delicacy.
Milk.
What's this?
Milk of camels.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Wow. It's good. Warm camel milk. It's so strong, like really strong flavour, like quite silky and fatty and very warm. But somehow very good. Back in the vet clinic, it's not uncommon for someone to drop in a bottle of wine or champagne as a way of saying thank you for treating their animal. But in all my years of working, I've never received a gourd of camel milk as a way of saying thanks. Cheers.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Later that afternoon, Chris is invited to a special event by his travelling companion, animal conservationist Brooke Squires.
Why won't you tell me what it is? It sounds ridiculous.
I tell you, the people here are very particular, and you're about to meet some really amazing individuals.
Oh, yeah.
Another one of Zoos Victoria's important programs is to encourage young Maasai warriors to play soccer.
One of the biggest issues in northern Kenya at the moment is, of course, young men, when they've got nothing to do. What do? They go out and kill wildlife for fun. But wildlife suffers. Grevy's zebra, giraffe, oryx, lion, all these animals were being killed.
This is the alternative.
This is an amazing alternative. I mean, they're out there. Again, it's an adrenaline rush. They're really loving what they're doing. It's a really great replacement for killing wildlife.
Oh, geez, the rocks in the pitch aren't easy. Feeling strangely underdressed or overdressed, not sure which one.
That night at camp, the Maasai warriors continue to let off steam with one of their traditional dances.
It's not funny.
Oh, this is good. It's a hell of a performance, but it also says so much about Maasai culture. It's loud, it's in your face, it's colourful, it's bright, but at the same time, it's magical. This place is amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, eh?
It's Chris's final day in northern Kenya, and Brooke wants him to experience the weekly livestock market.
This is a place to be. Some of the community have come in from as far as 150 kilometres away, like a week's walk with their stock to sell.
They'll walk here for fun.
Absolutely. This is the market. This is the biggest market in the northern part of Kenya. So if you want to do something funky with livestock, this is the place you got to be. This is where all the communities come. This is where it all happens. This is the centre of community.
So there's not only every type of animal, there's every type of person here, isn't there? Like a lot of cultures, you're seeing different clothing, different decorations.
Absolutely. Everything. Everything goes on in this market. Missouri. It's always crazy.
Is that the local bus?
Yeah, it is. This is the City Express.
It's door-to-door delivery, isn't it? You could bid out of the back of that bus.
Trust me, by the time that goes home, it'll have 5 goats in the back and probably a couple on the roof.
If you're after something on 4 legs, pretty much everything you could ever hope for is here in this market. For me, my eye's definitely taken by the camels. Beautiful voice. Hello. How old? 12 months? 2 years. What about if I gave you 40,000?
This one is less than 20,000.
I just went double market price, straight up. I'm not very good at this.
I can't bring you to livestock markets in northern Kenya ever again. It's starting to embarrass me.
What this market really reinforces to me is the fact that these livestock, they're everything for these herdsmen. If you want to go in there and change their attitudes towards wildlife and make it work, it's not going to be easy.
This is where we start to have issues with wildlife. Because when you have so much of this amazing livestock, then where's the room for wildlife? So unless we can find that balance, then what do we do? But again, that's what the Conservancies are doing, that's what Malako is doing, that's what Zoo Victoria's passionate about, is helping, working with the community to find the balance between their livelihoods and the wildlife.
You must sometimes feel so out of your depth here because you're up against this whole system.
Yeah, it is, you're right. There's a lot. Every now and then you just think, if people are earning income from this, how can we possibly compete with that? But again, the women and their beads, right, that's one way to do it. Income generation from different types of jobs that can be sustainable up here, that's how we're going to save wildlife. So we're not just relying on this as a system, there are other ways for people to survive. And that's what we're achieving, that's what we're so proud of, that's what we're doing.
After a remarkable week, it's time for Brooke and Chris to start heading home.
It was great to bring Chris here. He sees what we're passionate about, Zoos Victoria, sees the community are passionate about their livestock. He understands a bit more about northern Kenya.
You hear it? You can?
Yeah.
My first ever hyena biting victim. Little kiss, thank you.
To go back to the wild and actually see animals where they come from, that's where the magic is. And no matter what we do in zoos, none of it means anything unless we're saving the animals in the wild.
This isn't a typical African safari with a G&T over sunset. Bandits, armed bandits, and bullets flying all over the place. I really don't think too many people would have the conviction, the belief and the courage to take the fight all the way over to Kenya. It's beautiful.
Brooks had to be so brave and determined, not just for the wildlife, but also the local people.